Yeah, no respect in every aspect to the man like Mark. They love how the man talk on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio, call that the radio. You call that radio, call that the radio. Come and say my name.
Good evening and welcome to You Call That Radio's Slam Poetry Championship to find out who is the best poet in the world, if not the universe. We're going to find out. Look at that lineup. Look at wrong one. Look at that lineup. Welcome back. It's been a while. I'm going to bring on our judges first. So we've got the most experienced poet on the show, a legend in its craft, quick-witted and short-tempered, Bella Caledonia journalist, Govan Hill's answer to Simon Cowell, the president of poetry, Jim Monaghan. How's it going, mate?
How's it going, Mark? Yeah, that was a good introduction. I agree with everyone.
I made an effort. What's been happening? Are you looking forward to the poetry?
Well, do you know, I'm kind of, I've got a bit of trepidation, and I'm missing a Celtic game for this, so they better be fucking good.
Wait, did we not actually move this date originally because you were wanting to watch a Celtic game?
No, that was your first proposal. You had several proposals. I
know, it's a nightmare. I'm trying to get all these judges and all these poets to do it, and also like we're missing Cottier's Becky's gig tonight as well.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
And so we're going to don't worry, Jim. We're going to try and rattle through this tonight so we can go to the gig and you can watch the football. So we're going to do it as quickly as possible. The next judge we have is the greatest photographer, filmmaker, and graphic designer on the planet. He even made tonight's beautiful flyer. He's also an incredible writer, composer, guitarist, singer, beat maker. Welcome to the show, Martin Windybank.
You're too kind, Mark. It's good, man. Thanks very much.
And new father, congratulations.
Yes,
how's the man doing? How's fatherhood?
Great. He's great. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. What can I say? It's yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
Are you looking forward to seeing some poetry tonight?
Oh man, I can't wait. You know, I've been listening to poetry a bit recently, actually, you know, sort of like Humpty Dumpty and things like that. So yeah, I'm looking for the classics. So I'm looking for some more sort of contemporary stuff, man. I've been kind of like yearning for it. So I'm ready, you know.
Good stuff. Judge number 3. She actually won the show last year. She won Poet of the Year in 2020 on this very show. And then she went on to win the Scottish finals and flew the flag for You Call That Radio in the World Championships, where she finished runner-up in the entire world. Welcome to the show, Jenny Foles.
Hi.
Hello, Jenny.
How's it going? You all right?
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for coming back as a returning champion.
That's all right. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
You have you won this last year. We should point out that the winner of this show of Poet of the Year will go into the Scottish finals in January, which you did, and you won Scotland and you finished runner-up in the world. How was that? What was that like as an experience?
It was, it's been a bit of a mental year, really. It was a brilliant experience. I would have much preferred to go to Paris and do it in Paris. I was in the living room doing it, which is kind of like, it's all right. It's kind of like...
Yeah. All expenses paid. Normally the winner of the Scottish finals goes to Paris. And you got it. You won it the year that there was a Zoom call.
Nothing paid for, and I sat in my living room. No, it was brilliant. It was the guy who won it was representing Italy. He was extraordinary.
And I think, am I right in saying that you'd been invited to Italy to perform?
I was last year. Yeah. Well, actually, the beginning. When was it? It was in May. Yes, I was. Not had the invite yet, but
fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, it'll come. It'll come.
Scottish champion, world runner-up, the best in the world, second best in the world is Jenny Ford. And I've got to bring on our the last person that's very important, the counter. One of the most poetic mad bastards I've ever had the privilege to meet. We've co-curated the Friction Burns Supper for about 12 years now. Taboutin's answer to Carol Voderman, the artist formerly known as Sammy B. It's Pixie Brune. Oh, she's Sammy B again. And she's got Mitch. How's it going?
Hi, it's going all right, Mark. It's good to be here again and seeing everybody. It's been a strange old year for a lot of us, but congratulations to Jenny.
Yes, congratulations, Jenny. She's smashing it. Absolutely smashing it.
A few bonnets to wear than I can, you know what I mean? Scotland been one of them, starting off with the
changes. And is Majiko the cat all right?
She's about somewhere, Mark. She's come in especially.
We'll hopefully see Majiko later on. Jenny, I believe that you've got a pet with you as well.
This is Lion. Oh, there she is.
Oh, hiya.
He's a mad bastard as well. So
good stuff. Let's see who else is here. We've got Ross is in the house. Hello, Ross. Rob is buzzing. Nasty Nesto is in the house. Alan's here. Hello, Alan. Crystal Palace are playing as well. So Alan will be giving us the football updates.
I know.
Rapid Poetry Sesh, says Alan. Well done, Jenny. Absolutely. Congratulations, Jenny. I'm so buzzing for you to do so well.
Thank you.
So I think what we're going to do is, some people, if they don't understand poetry slams, we'll explain that all to you. But we've got a sacrificial poet, an absolute legend who I had the pleasure of sharing the stage with at Lindisfarne Festival. It's Neanderthal Bard. Hello, mate.
You got it.
Did I get it right? Did I do good? I did well. Mate, thank you very much for being actually initially invited you to do the slam, and then I was like, no, the winner goes to the Scottish final, so it needs to be someone who's either Scottish or is based in Scotland. And you're not. Where is it you're based?
Oh, I'm based all the way down in Ramsgate in Kent, right down at the other end of the country.
Just a wee bit over the border. We couldn't get that way. But it's hold on. We should be on. We weren't on Facebook, but we are on Facebook now as well. We're on Twitch. But if you're watching it on any other channel, go to YouTube. It's where it sounds best and looks best. So what I'm going to basically do is we're going to do a poem. You're going to give us a poem yourself, mate. And then we're going to go to the judges, just to give everyone a flavour of what's going to happen when it does. So we're just going to pretend that you are in the slam, but you're not. Does that make sense, everyone? I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, mate, thank you so much for doing this. A fantastic poet. Take it away.
Before I started writing and performing poetry, I was in a proper dark place, like at the bottom of a dark hole looking down, and I managed to turn myself around and see the sun, so I knew which way to crawl. So this poem's called Let Your Sun Shine Through. I love looking forward to my future. No, I'm not staring back at death, and I'm trying hard to hear the truth and not just the voices in my head. But why must the truth hide inside untruthful? It's full of convolute calculations and false information, and of course a reanimation of my feelings. Now I'm no longer believing in hidden meanings or subterfuge, because I paid my dues with my blood, my sweat, and I mixed it with tears. And yeah, I still fear fear. That's why I choose to appear here. Look, I'm a troglodyte when it comes to verse, and it's either wrong or right. That's why I rehearse as I traverse public spaces. My mind races as I waken from a stasis, as hibernation gives way to the creation of metaphor and hyperbole. I'm not the man I was before, because now I prefer to be referred as the creative sort, because I'm reanimating talk, but on a bigger scale. I am shouting my side of the tale, and it's a truthful account with a ruthless amount of honesty, not hostility, because I've got the ability to write this shit down and then get the fuck out of town and go from town to town spreading this message instead of dreading the blessings of the already blessed, because I like where I'm headed right now. It seems more worth the fight somehow. You see, it hit me like an epiphany as I start to get at what's getting to me. Am I the man that I'm about to be, cutting self-doubt from my history and rebuilding stigma by telling original stories and by pausing at times and by writing more fucking rhymes, becoming more innate by pointing that fickle finger of fate, disjointing that little linger of hate. We can all become great when we ingratiate greatness. So have faith in you, because when you do, then your sun will shine through too. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for letting me come on.
Fantastic. Neanderthal Bard. how can people check out more of your stuff, mate, before I bring the judges in?
Neanderthal Bard on all the social medias that I'm on, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, Neanderthal Bard.
Amazing stuff. Fantastic. Let's get the judges in. We've got Jenny, we've got Jim, and we've got Martin.
Woo.
So let's start with the returning champion, Jenny. What did you make of that?
That was incredible, really heartfelt. I really loved it, and I would give it an 8.4.
It's an 8.4. It's a big score on the door. And Martin Windybank.
Yeah, I really appreciated that. Yeah, I know. It's actually 2 times today that I've something like that, like where you look in one direction and you look in the other direction. Is on to Loose Women today with William Shatner, where he got into. They were talking. He was interviewed about going into space, and he was talking about winning the rocket. I kind of like got out of Earth, off Earth. He was heading towards space, and he looked out the window, and he said, all these years I thought when you go into space, it's going to be like some kind of like, a lovely experience. It's all, it's all mystical and all that. He said, all I saw was black and death. And I looked back at the earth and I saw nurture and nature and he just said, we're so insignificant. This is what he's saying on daytime TV. He says, we're so insignificant. And I said, the reason, and then I thought to myself, me realizing that is very significant. And then they cut him off. So
it's pretty fucking deep for Loose Women, isn't
it? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I was going off on a tangent there, but I mean,
was Loose Women. I didn't know that was the kind of shit they talked about.
Neanderthal Bard, loved the delivery and everything like that, man. It's like all the way you're right into it, and you can believe it. When you get that into, just saying a poem, you're sharing your experiences and things like that, and it's animated. I want to score that high, man. I want to give that an 8.7 or a 9. Like give it a 9. Let's give that.
It's been all positive so far. Jim Monaghan has a history of giving everyone a 4. So just before anyone, if you get a 4 off Jim tonight, please don't be offended. It's just he's just a bit grumpy. Maybe have you heard too much poetry? Is that your problem, Jim?
Nothing wrong with a 4. That's 4 good things. There's six bad things, but it's 4 good things. That's not too bad actually. It's it's not. I've heard too much. Yeah, I've heard too much poetry. That's what it is. Yeah. But that was. This is all getting a bit fucking hippie. William Shatner and everything, all this self-discovery stuff. So feeling uncomfortable already. But good rhymes, really good rhymes in there. And at the end of the day, it was a poet talking about himself. So if they all do that, then there's no room for the people out there who want to listen to me talking about myself. And so I'm not too happy with those kind of things, but it was well performed, and I only worry that might be as good as it gets tonight. So I'll give it a 6.
It's a 6. That's a high score from Jim. Congratulations on some nice comments as well. Yas says, Rab, well done, sir, says Alan. I bloody love that, says Rosie. Top syllables, says Gordon. Good poetry, says Alan. Aye, Bard was sick as fuck, says Leo. Amazing, man. Thank you very much. Go and follow Neanderthal Bard at all the social medias. And Voy, FYI, says Ursula. And great stuff, says Connell. Amazing. Thank you very much, mate. And we'll get you on the show properly for a right good chat and some more poems from you. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah. All the best. It's time to bring on our first poets of the slam. We have an amazing bunch of poets on tonight. We can only fit 12 onto the screen at the same time, so we did a random number generator. So we know that the first 3, we're doing it randomly generating the numbers after the first 3, but we know who the first 3 are. And the first poet of the Poetry Slam is Time Gypsy. Hello, Time Gypsy, how you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. How are you doing?
Now, for people who don't know, Time Gypsy's a fantastic acoustic singer-songwriter. You might have seen her on our channel before doing her music stuff, which is brilliant at. I've never actually seen her perform poetry before. I have seen you writing some poetry on Facebook, but is this the first time you've actually performed poetry?
Probably. I've done a few kind of open mic things, but not in a while. But more recently, I've been performing it casually and in casual and informal environments. So I feel more well practiced than before.
Well, that's brilliant. And now you're at the, as Jim Monaghan says, it's the almost prestigious, you call that Radio Poetry Slam semi-final. Almost prestigious. Take it away, Time Gypsy.
Nice. I'll just take it straight in. This poem's called The Sauchiehall Current. 3 a.m, adrift in the Sauchiehall Current. Blood leakage dripping in the reflection of the full moon on the cool pavement. Beer and smashed glass combine with the splash. Yells echo in shadowed buildings, blue and red flash as the moon on the pavement turns black. Why don't they turn those fucking lights off once they get here? Something about a look, they said, a pointless dispute. Now one is looking at a life sentence and the other story is ended. Mascara like tar on the girlfriend's white face, swollen from the screaming disgrace, the taste of iron in her wide mouth as it makes a sound like a bloodhound. One more drink, 2 pubs, 3 petty arguments later in a stupid fight that ended his life. Aye, well, he looked at me twice. Always the same fucking story. Some angry young nobody. Can't handle his alcohol, can't handle his life. So he buys himself a fancy knife, goes looking for a fancy fight. I heard it was about the drugs. Aye, it always comes down to that. Either he owed a few grand for gear or he was into the smack. Now, I knew the boy, and whilst he may have enjoyed a regular talk of the old joint, he'd more tact than to get involved with smack. But I also knew his knack for physical violence marked the scar above his eyelids. There he was, lying on the ground, the moon on his crown, a dark puddle spreading slowly closer to the manic, drunk crowd. He will always be renowned. The other boy, bladed and bleeding, having a controlled fit, rolling contorted against the officer's pleading approach. I'll knock your teeth down your throat, you dirty pig. You seen what I've did to him? His grin like a trout as he flouts all laws bound by compassion and fashions himself a future of arson, ashen-faced and filled with rage. He died on that exact day, just 5 years after, or so they say. The girlfriend of the deceased once visited him in prison. He sat quietly and he listened. 3 a.m, adrift on Sauchiehall. 2 young strangers stagger, fall.
Brilliant stuff. Let's bring the judges back in. We've got Martin, we've got Jenny and Jim. Superb. Let's start with Jenny.
Wowza. That's a heartbreaker, isn't it? I really loved the way that you painted pictures with words, the descriptions of Sauchiehall Street in the night was really beautiful. I really enjoyed that, and I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5. So that's a high score. Sammy, are you taking notes of the scores? Yep, just double check. Sammy is doing it's Carol Vorderman. The Boughton's answer to Carol Vorderman. Let's go to Martin Windybank. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, you set the tone of that so well. Very descriptive. Again, we're all there with you going along that whole journey. So again, tragic, and it's these kind of things. No one's going to remember it unless someone's written a poem about it. Probably, you know what I mean. That's the way that it gets remembered. So that's important. These things are important. I think you've done a really good job of that. So I know the place well as well. Sauchiehall Street. It's got a lot of tales, and there's one that was a big tale. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'd like to give it a high mark. I would like to give it a high mark, so I give it an 8 out of 10 for that.
It's an 8 out of 10, and we'll go to Jim. Like we said, Jim Monaghan, a 4 is a high score for Jim, so don't take it too personally.
I have to disagree with Martin in that I don't think Glasgow's got any shortage of knife crime stories or poems. I was kind of wondering a couple of things about it. It was quite stark, and I think it was well delivered for somebody who's a newcomer to slams as well. I don't know what a fancy knife is, though. I don't know what a fancy knife is. Where'd you get them? Have they got
a twirly moustache?
Diamond twisted or something like that. I don't know. I've never seen a fancy knife. And it's a good kind of story about why people should just stay south of the river and never go to court. I mean, I personally never crossed the river. It's just all fucking weird over that side. So you should stay south. It's a lot safer and not scary. But yeah, I think I'll get. I think that deserves a 6. I think.
A 6. Wow, that's a high score from Jim. Well done, Time Gypsy. Loads of nice comments coming in as well. We've got, let's see, Marion says, love this one. Ray, the brass player, says, oh my God, that was so moving. A tear in my eye at the end of the image of wasted lives. Marianne says, looking fab, go for it. Daryl Collins is saying wash hands. Now, what that we figured out, it's not actually wash hands, it's clapping, but for some reason, the emoji looks similar. And it says wash hands, but that's a clap. We've figured that out. Leo gives it 100%. And yeah, says Marion. Cry, says Rosie. Bra, Time Gypsy, love baby doll. Katie gets shivers. It's love from Leo. Tickle says superb. Amazing, says Nesto. Your words are unreal, says Katie. This is epic, says Ross. Hefty on yourself, says Alan. Superb, says Alan. Other Alan. There's a lot of Alans in the house tonight. Well done, Time Gypsy. If anyone's unsure of the rules tonight, basically what's happening is we've got 9 poets here. The top 6, everyone's going to do one poem, and the top 6 do a second poem. And then the top 4 go through to the final next Wednesday. Thank you, Time Gypsy. We might see you later on. Let's go like that. I would expect her to be back. So, who's next? It is, we did the random number generator earlier on, and it's Joe D'Arc. Joe, who people might know from the show, she's been on many times. Twistettes, singer, bassist, Minerva Wakes, Glitch Witch, and bassist of Gyro Babies. And Joe, the Minerva Wakes project was basically a trip-hop album that came with a poetry book. And Joe's been going to all the indie open mics recently and getting writing about it.
Yeah, I've just kind of been trying to, I've written poetry for years, but I just was always terrified to perform it. See, the idea of my words being there without the music to kind of, I don't know, hide behind, or some kind of shield, I don't know. Anyway, so I never performed it for a long time, but yeah, I've just taken the bull by the horns, as they say, and just went for it. Yeah, so
amazing. Well, take it away, Joe.
Okay, cool. This is Minerva Wakes. Minerva wakes from a slumber deep in silt. She moves and sways, bound and grazed as her gaze inflates. She begins to create sounds and jilts the wormholes the world expects her to move through to come alive. Unspoken and strange, she invades. A strong arm stretches, muscle flexed with a gentle grasp as energy spirals. From cocoon she reaches and is reached in one spinning flow. Wretched and effervescent in equal measures, she pulses, prickles, and perspires. She is preceptor of her path. She is real, yet she is illusory. She builds and hones, and while chiseling bones, she slowly unfolds. Minerva's essence flinches as she steps forth through boulders and slime. Her first breath of air laced with soil and gold takes her there. She digs her feet into the ground below and feels. The wind whispers through a haze of shattered glass, and as it reaches her ears, its reverberation is piercing. She pauses, then a lone, sharp inhalation. A tear falls from her earth-laden eye as she asks, what has happened here? As the earth and wind chime incessantly all around, her form is firming and soul burning in equal amplification. Tattles and tales of monstrous acts of greed under the guise of civilization echo as her core cracks. She rips open her throat and shrieks into the night sky with such urgency that the sun rises instantly. Flares of hope fire in the distance, flames licking her toes as she strides out into the world. But despite this glimmer, all she feels is that the toil and drill of self-interest obsessively prevails. Her fruit has ripened beyond control, mutated and corrupt. She is lost. Leaping over rocks to meet the lapping waves, her last hope to be assured that there is good here. The sea swings in circles. Mild-natured spirits inhabit this space, and they have a true want to save the human's grace. Yearning pictures of sacrifice and kind-hearted vice, liquid motions evoke anecdotes that lift the spirit and unite, despite the wider woe. But no matter how the river tries, her feet remain planted on clay that tells her from soul up how she must sway. As extreme as her awakening, her spine now entwines in a coil of zeal pulled from every nook. Through wild hair and bold eyes she ignites. Fluorescent light spikes like multifaceted sheets of pearl. Her teeth clench as she summons everything that is back to her breast. As time disintegrates, her form gently implodes. And with this, unequivocal love is restored. We are back to inception. Thank you.
Amazing stuff from Joe D'Arc. We've
Thank
got
you.
the judges here. We've got the judges. And Joe, Minerva Wake's poetry book is available. How do people get? Because you've got all sorts. You've got your CDs, prints, and
yeah. So the Minerva Wakes Bandcamp has got the album that goes with the poetry book, and the poetry book which I have here, which has like a story that tells kind of that story of the poem, but a bit bigger, and a short story. And it was a whole mad kind of crazy thing that happened during lockdown. But yeah, Etsy, Joe Dark Arts on Etsy, or Bandcamp, Minerva Wakes Bandcamp. So yeah.
Put the link in the comments. Amazing stuff. And Minerva Wakes is playing a sold out show tomorrow with WH Lung at the Hug and Pint. So you can't get a ticket for that because it's already sold out. Well, let's go to the judges. Jenny, what did you make of that?
I thought that was really beautiful. I thought it was like really lovely storytelling, really mythical. I love the rhymes in it. I love the descriptions in it. I think you're an incredibly talented lady. It was delivered really beautifully as well. You've got a really nice voice. I am going to give it an 8.5.
It's an 8.5. And do you know what? I think we're going to go to Jim, because I think if we put Jim in the middle rather than... So it start positive and end positive. Jim, what did you make of it?
I'm not always negative. Yeah. Not when there's a good poem. But it was, I think it sounded a wee bit like the kind of long opening to a sci-fi novel or something like that. It was kind of like, I thought at the end of it, that was at the starting, right? What happens next? What happened to Minerva now? But you said you were scared to perform poetry. How did you feel when you saw I was a judge tonight? Did that make things easier for you? Did that make you feel comfortable, Joe?
I don't know.
it's kind of it sounded to me a wee bit more like a page than a stage poem, and I felt that to get it in the 3 minutes, you maybe read it a wee bit quicker than you normally would. But so you probably should read it slower or choose a shorter one. But 5.8, I think.
Wow, 5.8. It's a big score from Jim. Martin Windybank.
How you doing? How you doing, Joe? Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, you've used such a palette of words, you know, it's quite ethereal and mystical, and, you know, so the kind of the kind of forest stuff, and, you know, I like the atmosphere of it, I really do. I did think that you were reading it a bit quick, that I like, that was...
Well, that's because we have Sammy B here.
Yeah. I know. Time was ticking.
Time is ticking.
In there, man. I know, I get that. I was quite...
Yeah, I should have maybe done a shorter one in hindsight.
Because within the 3 minutes, Hen.
Oh, was it? There we go. Yeah. See, in my defence, I'm a fifer, so we speak much faster than that by standards. Yeah. So I'm always trying to slow myself down. So probably nerves as well made me go.
Anyway. You could really pull that one out a lot. I think you could get right into it. There's a lot in there, isn't there? There's so much, so many beautiful words in there. So but for tonight, and because I had heard it before, but tonight I'm maybe I'm looking for a wee bit more new, edgy, Joe. So
you can't take points off for you hearing the poem before.
That's all good.
Sorry. So I give it a 7.7, Joe.
A 7.7, and we've got some nice comments coming in. Rob says great stuff. Ray, the brass player, says nicely delivered. Love the increase in pace and positivity as it progressed. Colette says looking bra as usual. Our Joe, love baby doll. Delightful, says Tickle. Nice, says Leo. What an incredible piece, says Ross. High five from Kirstine. This is so lovely. Absolutely love this, says Alan. Woo, says Marion as well. So well done, Joe. And we'll move on to our next poet. Who have we got? Do you know what? I'm going to do the random number generator because I realise we've got a bunch of poets waiting to find out when they're going to be on. So we know that the next poet is going to be Shelto Mel, So bring her on a little second, but I'm just going to do the random number generator to see who is fourth. So that gives the poet a little bit of time to get ready or go to the toilet and stuff like that. So let's just click the Wheel of Fortune. I'll make it full screen. There is no expense spared on You Call That Radio. We have graphics and a random Wheel of Fortune that will randomly generate the next. And do you know what? I've got to take the people out that have already done it. It's Time Gypsy again. Fucked it. So we take Joe off it, we take Time Gypsy and Shelto Mel off it, and we go for it's one of these poets. Let's try it again. So the fourth poet will be Natalie Jane Clark.
Woo!
So if Natalie, you want to click into the backstage area, Natalie, please do that. And we're going to go to Shelto Mel. Hello, Shelto Mel.
Hello, Madam Father Funkers. Where the bloody hell am I?
Can we have a look at your Christmas tree quickly? It's a feather duster.
Oh, wait a minute.
Shelto Mel finished runner-up of the Poet of the Year competition last year. She finished second. Was beaten by 20 folds. It was a close battle at the end. So she's back, and this time she means business. And Shelto Mel, please take it away.
Well, before I start, I just wanted to say I thought this camera was going to be clearer, but it doesn't. It isn't, so whatever. And this, I bought a disco ring already for this, and it's not working. This is pish. So the lighting's whack, but here we go. Right. And Jim, bring it. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. I've lost my glasses again. Hang on. Oh, right. When the soul lies low, doesn't want to grow, can't seem to find the Orinoco flow. Conflicted contradiction, casually contorted. Along with the seed, the mission has been aborted. Over the top, under the bottom, hard to the core, peel's been forgotten. Overzealous zealots cross the zebra crossing. Mushy monsters, mushy pit of mushy peas fermenting. Trivial pursuit in pursuit of trivial things. Keeper of the funk, grand mistress of the rings. That's my precious, precociously pushing. Vanish in the vernacular, the majority be spewing. Do Homer's at it again. Ray's got another woman. Me, another version of myself. Far away, the magic tree is swirling. So what? You're not in the radar. Larry, we like to party. TL Grey, bringer of chi. Donuts laced with blue Smarties. Magnetic forces, magnifying mirth. Masquerading as angels, where's the afterbirth? Squatters' rights in Sasquatch's hands. Sergeant Pepper Upton left his Lonely Hearts Club band. The energetic vibrations are draining. Hold your wee shut your puss, quit. The mansplaining. Sasquatch, my spirit, an emblem of individuality. Wrapped up in fur, escapes the herd mentality. Puts me in an aura of invisibility till the energy's restored back in this vicinity. Shagadelic relic, energy-sucking vampire. You've left the cosmos, I now retire. Do Homer's at it again. Ray's got another woman. Me, another version of myself. Far away, the magic tree is swirling. So what? You're not in the radar. Larry, we like to party. TL Grey, bringer of chi. Donuts laced with blue Smarties. Take that, fuckers!
Sammy B. Sorry, Sammy B. Sorry, Sammy was asking me, Jim, this is for you actually. Is she doing the average score or the total score?
Well,
There's a reason to be averaged it. Does it matter?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Average score is the same as the total score. The same person wins because it's just the total score divided by 3, and they're all divided by 3. So whoever's got the highest score will also have the highest average score. So
don't worry about maths. It's been a long year. Just add it up. That'll be fine.
The math, you know.
All right. Well, your turbout's answer to Carol Vorderman. Do the math. You do the math. Shell to Mel, absolutely smashing it. Let's go for Jenny.
Mel, it was brilliant. The disco ring does work, by the way, because there's colours. Is it just like a ring that changes colour?
No, look at this.
Let's have a look.
That bit doesn't burrow.
Oh, it doesn't burrow.
No, so you don't get the.
Well, the lights were good though. I like the lighting. I miss your dancing.
I know I've got no space. I'm not in my garden.
I miss your dancing. You got sick rhymes though. I like the singing. I like the dance moves. I was imagining it in kind of full screen. I like the lighting. The Christmas tree was brilliant. You're brilliant. Your words are brilliant. And I am going to give you an 8.5.
Oh, thank you.
Martin, no, I'll go for Jim. Jim.
You shouldn't have started with dissing your own deck show. That was a bad start. That was asking me to take points off you.
But you've put points
for
on
the bad
for
lights.
Team,
I'm not going to give you points for bad lights and a broken disco ball. You know what I mean? That's I got Orinoco Flow. I wasn't sure whether he had a point for that or take away a point. It was a blast from the past. There's a lot of cultural references in there I didn't get, and sometimes when I did get them, I had no fucking idea what you were talking about. It didn't make any sense to me. But so it was like kind of but well done for mentioning mansplaining, because it makes me feel a wee bit vulnerable about being too harsh now. Case I've got a mansplaining joke. Do you know where mansplainers get their facts from? A well, actually. And that's quite good.
Right, okay,
that's good.
Okay.
Anyway. So I'll give Mel 5. That's one more than last year because she's knowing her Gearding.
We were all jealous of your Gearding last year. It was a springtime. Was it too cold?
It's too dark, man, and it's a riot.
And your disco light doesn't work.
Looks like a jungle.
Martin Windybank.
How you doing, Mel? You right?
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. It's always a good show, man. You always feel good. It's always a good experience to listen to one of your things. You know.
You've got to try and win second balls. You've got to try and make the game scrappy.
Stop.
Because if it's
Jim, you watching the flipper?
Is that you, Jim?
It's Jim.
Sorry.
He's watching the fucking flipper.
I know. Keep on. It was meant to be
multitaskers. You should have got a line about multitaskers in there. You know.
Okay, Martin, who was paying attention?
No, I was just talking. I was just going on. Mel, really appreciated it. Love seeing your stuff. I'll give you a good score for that. Of course, I'll give you a 7.8. Mel,
7.8 from Martin Windybank, and let's go to so that's it. We're fine. We've done the judges. That's it. And comments. The comments. So we've got Love It says Barbara. 13. Barbara was wanting to know how to go to the Messy, because obviously we've been uploading videos from the Messy Festival. If you're interested in going to the Messy, we'll be doing one in the spring, and you're all invited. You send me a message for more info. Yeah, says Tickle. Anne says Burling. Nice one, Mel. Burling.
Be girling.
Be girling. All right, sorry, Burling. Brilliantly presented, lots of interesting poetic phrases, conjuring imagery as if plucked from a bucket of frenzied phrases in your head. Fuck's sake, I'll give that a 9. I'll give that comment a 9.
Exactly. You should be here judging this. Sure.
Jim's the best, says Connell. Great poetry, says Connell as well. Caught in the act, Jim, says Ali. What else? We got Bra, Shelto, Mellow, says Colette. Go Shelto, says Alan. Shelto, Mellifluous. Shelto Mellifluous. Am I saying that right? Probably not. Tickle says, I saw that tree on Instagram and it's the best tree ever. Yeah, it was quite good. There is a video on Shelto Mel's Instagram of the kids sort of looking at the tree like, what the fuck is this now? Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, Shelto Mel, that was a good score, a good poem. And if she is in the top 6, we will see you in the second half of the show. And then, by the way, the reason that there's not 9 poets, I've been trying to figure this out. Someone messaged me saying there was only 8 poets in the wheel. It's because there is only 8 poets. I counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's because Lindsay McGee was supposed to be doing a poem as well, but she can't do it. She's got to go to work instead. So we nearly got Lindsay. So that's why I booked 9 poets, because I thought somebody was going to have to pull it. So we've got 8 poets. So poet number 4 is, before we go to poet number 4, I'm just going to do the random generator again so that poet number 5 is ready. We've got Natalie coming up next. But so Natalie, get ready. And let's just find out who the 5th poet is going to be to see if there'll be poet of the year. And it's Gordon Powery. So Gordon, please click the link to join the studio if you haven't already. This is your 1 poem warning, Gordon Powery. Please report to the backstage area and give us a poem soon. But right now, all the way from Perth, I believe, Natalie Jane Clark representing Flying the Flag for Perthshire.
Hello, yes, all the way from Perth. It's very dark here too, actually, as well. I feel like my lighting's a bit boring and too bright in comparison. Right,
she'll tell me. She'll tell me.
Yeah, she's just very bright.
She's got to outstage everyone's backgrounds. She's normally got a garden, but now she's got a broken disco light. And Natalie, you've been a busy year. You've been involved with Scribblers Union over lockdown and stuff like that. Have you been back into the real world and performing poetry live again?
Absolutely, yeah. Lots of Scribblers stuff, lots of stuff online, and yeah, I've had my first couple of live, like actually in-person shows. I've used a microphone twice now, which is thrilling and frightening at the same time. And yeah, it's quite cool being out and actually hearing an audience, like hearing people laugh. Like I didn't know if I was actually funny or not, but because I never knew, a little bit. And you've got a book out as well. You dropped a book during lockdown, is that right? Yeah. So Scribblers Union, amazing. Kevin Peagleday, who's a bloody legend, basically brought us all together throughout lockdown. We met every week. We're still meeting weekly to do lots of poetry, and those people are some of the people I'm closest to now, because we've shared our souls and stuff, and without all that group I wouldn't have started doing poetry. Basically, I think I've said this before, but I was one of those people that always loved the notion of being a writer. I want to be a writer, but I never wrote anything, so of course I wasn't going to be a writer. So yeah.
Shout out to Kevin Peagleday and all the Scribblers Union, great crowd, and Kevin Peagleday, one of the key workers of lockdown in the arts. So shouts, Kev. Take it away, Natalie. What have you got for us?
All right, this is called Jessica the Photocopier. Oh, my Jessica. I watch them all day, furiously jam their sweaty, salandriform, unsanitized fingers over your smooth, innocent interface, blemishing the unblemishable. They have multitudes of words for you, more than me. Mine are never more than hello or hiya. Never a how are you or how's it going. Often a how the fuck is this thing not working again? However, I don't envy the putrid curses you receive in every other interaction. Oh, my darling Jessica, I watch them dump their loads of paper in unceremoniously. Afterwards, I softly take out the stack of A4, riffle through each page to replace the touch of their roughness, gently tap bottom and sides to align myself nicely, insert into you with slow precision. My sweetest darling Jessica, sometimes you jam and I'm not there to hear your bleating calls for rescue. Paper jam, open left door, turn lever 2B, twist knob 3F, close and resume. Paper jam, open left door, turn. I return to an ink-stained anger. Of course, I force them to listen to a 10-minute lecture about how to treat the printer properly. I must hold them there for your sake. It happens at least once a day, usually before lunch, where I can retreat with my luncheon meat, an egg and cress sandwich, followed by a ski yogurt. Unless it's a Friday, then it's the Miller corner of my choice, where I sit in the corner of my choice, every day the same seat in the staff break room, silently watching their words. Oh, my weary, sweetest, darling Jessica. The afternoon often brings some panicked jobs that must be done by close of play today. I calm them and send them away. That's when they're cruelest with you. And I'd rather spend my afternoon alone with you. I love you, my weary, sweetest, darling Jessica. I walk home, steps in time with your metallic toner swipes left, right, left, right. Hear your voice clinking to me constantly, momentarily disturbed by the microwave ping, the TV burble, the light switch. Then I dream of you all night until you and I reunite tomorrow, first thing in the morning. My Jessica. Thank you.
Amazing stuff. Also, just a wee hit that subscribe button, because for some reason 70% of you people that watch the show still haven't hit that big red button. So hit the ring the bell or hit the big red button or whatever it is you do. That was some brilliant stuff from Natalie. Let's go to the judges. Look at Jenny, Jim, Martin here, and Sammy keeping a close eye on things. Let's start with Jenny, the last year's champion.
Ah, man, Natalie, that was amazing. I have worked in many offices and many shit offices, but and have had many shit printers. But I love the fact that you wrote a love letter to Jessica, the printer. Having names for inanimate objects is one of my favorite pastimes. I think it had brilliant range. It was funny. It was sweet. I liked the performance. I thought you had good rhythm, and yeah, I really loved it. And I'm going to give it a 9.1.
A 9.1, the highest score of the evening. And let's go to Jim.
That was that was quite good, actually. I'm getting a bit annoyed about the night. There's not enough shite floating about to give me my give me material, if you like. I'm all for people learning under miserable, despondent cynics like Kevin Goldie and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's working quite well, though, because I've seen some of the Scribblers Union stuff and it's been great. I watched a documentary once about people who fell in love with inanimate objects. A guy get married to a waltzer and all that.
Yeah,
and,
someone's got married to a Ferris wheel. Yeah.
So,
Season.
You almost crossed the line, but thanks for the paper jam. I think we just didn't get there quite as terrible as it could have been. But
left your imagination.
I think I have to give it 6.1. I think
6.1 is a high score from Jim as well. And let's go to Martin Windybank.
How you doing? That's good. I like the surreal aspect of it, and it was very seductive in terms of, you know, somebody. I guess it's a modern thing. You know, people are definitely falling in love with like technology, man. You know, it's coming, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's just the start of it. Copier is just the beginning. You know.
Yeah. Wait till they have like proper AI voices and stuff. You know.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure we
and
can talk about this all night, you know. Talk about this all night.
I'm very fond of my toaster.
Martin, what's the scores in the doors?
7.5 for me.
7.5, another high score. Amazing. And I mean, has anyone ever actually had a printer that works? Like actually just works for longer than, I've not figured it out yet. It's got even worse way. I got a new printer. It's like Bluetooth and stuff like that. It just doesn't work. Printers don't work. It shows the kind of people that you said despondent and cynical.
Miserable, despondent, cynic.
And also you said you're a bit disappointed that the poetry's not been shite enough for you to slag so far.
Yeah, I know. It's been
Kevin's got a good line about that. I hate these young poets because some of them are actually quite good. Or something like that.
It's been too good tonight so far. That's been the issue with it, actually. You know.
Well, thank you, Natalie. You did great. And we are going to bring on our next poet, which is Gordon, who is in the background. We're going to spin the wheel to see who's next after Gordon. So there's 3 poets left. Aldo. Oh, no. Oh, it went to Nick. It was nearly Aldo. It's Nick. Congratulations, Nick. You're next. So, Nick, feel free. Please report to the backstage area and you will be on after Gordon. Let's get Gordon, who I feel like, Gordon, you've been on the show before. Hello, Gordon. Let me move this at the screen. Hello, Gordon. You've been on before. You didn't do the slam last year, though, did you? You did something else.
No, I did do the slam, but I didn't win around. I had to go and win a slam elsewhere to get by.
Yeah,
Jim.
Right. Jim. The studio's full. Someone else is trying to get Time Gypsy. I'm kicking you at the studio. Hold on. Time Gypsy, you're flung out. You'll be back if you get through the next round, but I need to make space for, I believe that'll be. I'm going to kick out Natalie as well just now, just so we can make space for the incoming poets. So it's Gordon just now. Gordon, I'm a big, massive fan of your poetry, and it's great to have you back on the show. Please take it away.
Brilliant. This is my Christmas poem for parents. Old Saint Nick, what I get. Now, I know you want some Christmas cheer and some of this you don't want to hear, but that bugger turns up once a year and preys on children's toilet fears, and who does all the hard work? This guy, right here. They call him Father Christmas. He's a father absentee. Once a year he shows his face and steals the show from me, and while we're on the subject, can somebody tell me please how boots, beards and obesity win a child's obsequy? He's nothing but a corporate shill. His presence really tests my will. His face on every can of Coke makes me so mad that I could choke. My kids, they think that he's just grand, but if I had my way, he'd be made to take the stand. See, he really should be prosecuted. I feel bad for elves, sent there by the DLA to stock his grotto shelves. A slaver and a festive crook. If it was me, I'd throw the book and knock out his front teeth, 'cause I do all the hard work. I get the presents in, but they give thanks to Santa Claus while I take out the bins. Why do they love this festive creep who creeps through houses while we sleep? To me, it doesn't make much sense, and their adoration makes me tense, 'cause he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Surveillance culture, I'm not sure, is justified to keep them pure. Since when was stalking little kids considered de rigueur? Here's my plan. Here's what I'll do. I'm giving old Saint Nick the shoe. I'll take the milk and cookies too, and all the other perks I'm due. It's about bloody time. I told my kids that this year they should address their list to me, because Santa is incarcerated and unlikely to get free. I told them with a solemn face it really was a tragic case, and Santa had to do some time to pay for his most recent crime. Now, the kids were rather shocked at the story that I told, especially the youngest, because he's only 3 years old. I said, Santa Claus drank too much and his big fat foot slipped on the clutch. He lost control of the reindeer sled, and now poor Mrs. Claus is dead. Well, the kids were inconsolable, because Santa had been bad, but good for them that close to hand they had their dear old dad. I pulled them close and I hugged them tight, and I told them not to cry, because after all, they're not too young to learn that all things die. But if you want some Christmas cheer, hop on by my place, because you've never seen a bigger smile than the one now on my face, because I got all the festive love now that Santa's out of sight. So Merry Christmas, all of you. To all of you, good night.
Do you want weirdo or do you want it?
If you don't really know what's going on, there's a show that also doesn't know what's going on. Call that radio TV. You call that radio. Call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
As you call that radio TV, we're live for the semi-finals to find out who is undoubtedly undisputed the best spoken word poet in the land. We just had an absolute belter from Gordon there. I'm going to read out your comments from the screen. Also, I forgot to read out Natalie's comments, so we'll do that after we speak to the judges, who are Jim, Jenny, Martin, and Sammy B, keeping a close eye on things with Majiko the cat. Jenny, let's start with last year's champion.
Yeah, you nailed it. I think you've got really good rhythm. I loved the ending. I also think Santa Claus is a bit of a creep. So I'm gonna give you 8.6.
Amazing. Well done. Amazing stuff. And let's go to Jim. What you got to say about it?
That was very good, Gordon. Actually, I'm getting more and more disappointed at this. I thought I could just sort of watch the Fitbird pretend to listen for it. I thought it was shit. But great rhythm, great use of rhyme and telling that kind of classic kind of narrative comic poem. I think it was very good. It all sounds good in Scottish as well. I love the great use of the comma with the phrase "choke my kids." That was quite good. That was and I'm a dad as well, so it was right up my street. But mine's is grown up now, so I don't have to deal with that anymore. But yeah, and it's got that kind of, you know, all the Disney movies teach kids about death, you know, Lion King and Bambi and all that kind of stuff. So it's even got the classic kind of like Christmas movie theme. So I'm going to have to give that 6.3, I think.
6.3 is a high score.
That's massive.
Wow. Well. I mean,
Sammy's in disbelief.
That's unbelievable for Jim.
I think that's the highest score Jim's ever given, isn't it? You probably have to look back at that, but if you look back at the spreadsheets and that, but you probably see that's
I'll check the
highest. Check the numbers, man. Check the graphs, man. Yeah, if it was the Bah Humbug Christmas special, man, that would have,
well, it's right up to
that would have been like full on maximum score, man. To be fair, but, you know, I mean, I have to say that I'm not totally opposed to the old St. Nick. You know, I can't totally slag him off or anything like that. So I appreciate that people do. Do you know what I mean? I get it. So I mean, you know, I'm a fan of what you were doing with the words there, though. The speed of it, the rhythm, you know, it all worked, and it was intense, and it was, you know, I agree with Jim about the Disney thing as well. It was quite. I actually was thinking about it. It's pretty scary, you know, at times, and I was like, yeah, that's got the right atmosphere, you know. So I'll get to my score. It was a great performance. Let's give it a 7.7.
It's a 7.7. Amazing stuff. Gordon, is there anywhere for people to check out your poetry?
Yeah, they can catch out. I've got quite a lot of stuff, both my own YouTube page, not getting enough subscribers for a proper name, but it's on social media and stuff, and also through.
Let's fix that. We can do that. We've got enough people watching on YouTube tonight. Let's fix that. So let me see if I can find your channel. So I think I've got you here. Is the Ayatollah? Is that
the Ayatollah alliteration?
Somebody gave me that alliteration. So. Let's everyone click this link. Fuck's sake, there's enough of you on YouTube. Just now, let's get that up because you're on 41. Let's get that up to 100 so that Gordon can have a YouTube URL. So go and click that now. I'll wait. You just click that link. Go for it. I'll still be here. Minerva Wake says you call that spreadsheets. As you know, we run a very organised, well-oiled ship. There's plenty of spreadsheets in the background.
The archive.
Martin says, brilliant, Gordon. Ray, the brass player, says, Gordon, bloody brilliant, super rhythmic, rhyming, weaved with humour, and so topical. Love to hear it again. Bravo, sir. Bravo, says Leo. Love it, says West Side. Or I think this is actually going into law. Yeah, I don't know when it started for Natalie. So this is my favourite so far. So Tickle, I think this might be Natalie. I'm not sure. Wondrous wordsmithery. Smithery, says Alan.
Smithery.
Quality babes, love baby doll. Love it, says Rab. Lol. Oh, yes. I think this might still all be Gordon, but I think it changes. Yeah, definitely changes here to Natalie's comments. Nice rhythm and brought a mundane item of office equipment to life. Not sure who was delivering the doting observations on Jessica, though. Great poet, said Alan about Natalie. Loved it, says Rob. That was amazing. Natalie, says Ross. Wow, says Leo. It's important to get the paper straight, says Tickle. Saucy but poignant, says Alan. Round of applause from Alan Rorison. And we love you, Natalie, from Ross. And Colette says, a fellow Persia Chukter saying up the Chukter, which sounds a bit bad out of context. More on the Scribblers, says Ross. And yeah, that's us up to date with all the comments. I think just subscribe. Ross has subscribed. We're subscribing to Gordon's page. Oh, we went up 8. We went up 8 subscribers straight away. So I put that link there. Please do hit that button and subscribe to Gordon's poetry channel. And hopefully we might see Gordon back for the next round. Thank you. Bye. And now the next poet, who is Nick. So let's spin the wheel to see who the poet is after Nick. it is going to be, we've got 2 poets left. Let me make sure I've taken Nick's name off it. So it's a spinning the wheel between Tickle and Aldo, the mad poet. One will be the 7th poet, one will be the 8th. And it's Tickle McNichol will be next, and then Alan will be next as well. I don't know if I made it clear, but I keep on kicking Shell Tomel and Time Gypsy to make way for the other poets. So sorry, Time Gypsy and Shell Tomel. If yous are through to the next round, I'll invite yous back on, but we need to keep space for the other poets. And also, yeah, we've got Rob. Sorry, Rob. Actually, Rob's not... Right, we'll just do that. It's Tickle, then Aldo, then Rob. Okay, sorry. So we've got... Is everyone in the studio? We've got Rob's there, Nick's there. So if we could call Aldo into the studio, Time Gypsy's back. Hold on, I'm just going to go and speak to her. Time Gypsy, could you just stay out the studio just now, just so we've got enough people with their one? Yes, sorry, thanks, Time Gypsy. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. If you're through to the next round, we'll invite you back on. We've just running the green room. What?
They're close. The scores. They're awful close this year.
Is it close? Is that what the scores and the doors are saying?
Nail biting stuff here, working it out.
It's very nail biting.
I know you've done big high scores in that, man. What's going on?
I know. It's a Christmas miracle. Christmas miracle. We've got a Tickle, who I believe is outside in the street trying to get internet reception. So let's see if Tickle McNichol is available. How's it going, man? Tickle might have some internet reception issues. Right, we're going to give it a go anyway. Right, Tickle, please take it away. Go for it.
Can you guys hear me? I thought this was a job interview.
I can hear you. I can hear you, mate. Just go for it. It is a job interview. It's a job interview to find out who the best poet in the entire universe is. So take it away.
Okay, right. I started working at the age of 4, maybe 5. They ignored child labour laws at Wayne Enterprises. Yeah, they ain't the nicest, and they surprised the pay was shittest. I did some dark night shifts to pay the rent on time. Apprenticed as a soldier of fortune, a great scheme. I learned a problem-solving work as part of a team. I did a few tasks at New Path, escalating up the tree. I made the cups of tea, at least with substance D. Pre-crime dudes don't have a clue what remorse is. And a minority reported I was using brutal force, and I don't always choose a suitable course, and at Tyrell, I was more human than human resources. And at the internship at Alchemax, I binge and fill my mouth with snacks till I got asked to stop it. After poking out some more, worked on and off at Aperture, fired and rehired and resigned, then right back in the office after walking out the door. I'd like to emphasize my tenure's generally long. And if I didn't work for Recall, I'm remembering wrong. Plus, I'm pretty sure I worked for Treadstone 71, but I can't quite recollect though, because my memory's gone. Then on to Genesis, maybe 3 months as a medical flunky. If your intent is to pay peanuts, then expect to get monkeys. I did intense chores at LexCorp in 1 sec. I'd get bored, then Consec and NextZorg, the best in the country. And the Umbrella Corporation had some excellent people, but the CEO's a wanker and the president's evil. I worked at Hancock on robotics, had a crack at making chocolates, where the CEO's a wonker with incredible treacle. And my communication skills are blatantly dope. Was proving that to you in the fat back at Paper Street soap. I know that I was on the sick a little while at Monsters Inc. I think despite the problem kids I missed, I basically coped. Those dinosaurs at InGen try to screw me like a newbie. Fort has non-disclosure forms. The guys at Vita sued me. I worked a chain of burger chains with burger flipping duties. Big Kahuna, Krusty Burger, Burger Shop, then movies. Then it was a stress at start, busy as a hired hand. Then ended when they went and started nicking my inspired plans. Said you aren't dressed in smart, criticised the tire, and saying I'll get fired if I'm not going to give that shirt an Iron Man. Alienated by my labour at Wayland Yutani. I learned to trust my gut and fuck the catering. It's shabby. Had an animus against Abstergo management, admit it, because nothing was permitted and the rate of pay was crappy. Computer skills are highly prized at Cyberdyne. They try to find a kind of silent type, the guy that likes arriving right on time, the finest mind. Inspiring if he winds up in the firing line. Your contract's terminated if you fail to make them happy like the factory at Acme. Bored right to the back teeth. Sick of the conditions and the foreman's quite the Nazi. So when I saw the light and organised and brought the fight and called a strike of all the guys, of course they try to sack me. I played the devil's advocate at dawn for a hefty wage. Lost the boss's big wig, he swore there was hell to pay. Disposed of sacks of broken glass.
Was that the end of the port, or have you frozen?
Nakatomi products, but the omnibuggers dropped me because they like to boost their profits. I missed a lot of lessons aboard Enlistless Learner. Got Saturday detention when I called in sick at Shermer. Earned my first degree at Greendale where my beers were mixed with chronic. I'm a correspondence doctorate. I got a miskatonic. Where do I see myself in 5 years? It's a fucking stupid question.
Stuff. It's Tickle live from a street. Let's go to the judges. Sorry to Nick and Rab, I made some mistakes there, but you guys are on. So we're going to do it Nick, then Aldo, and then it's Nick, Aldo, then Rab. I think that's me. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I made some mistakes there. A great poem from Tickle McNichol, who you should check out Tickle's stuff online. More of a rapper, musician. So you can find his stuff on alpapagiraffe.bandcamp.com, Tickle SoundCloud as well. And let's go to the judges. Let's start with Jenny.
I really loved the rhythm of that. It reminded me of a 90s hip hop track, and I'm trying to think what it was. I liked all the cultural references. I wish I could have seen your face more, because there's lots of time you were in the dark. And also it broke up a little bit, so I missed the beginning and the end, although I did get the last line, which I liked, and it was funny. So I'm going to give you an 8.2.
8.2, big score. Let's go to Jim.
Classic Tickle there with a wee bit of cartoons and comics mixing with politics and all that stuff. It's a shame about the gap in the tech. There was a kind of minute, a few seconds when it went silent and a bit we couldn't see. Brilliant ending though as well. Definitely got an extra point for dressing up for the occasion. And I need to be careful what I do here though, because Tickle used to be the best poet, and
you fucking ruined it.
Yeah, I know, and I ruined it. So,
let's actually mention that. So
so what happened was the people used to say the best poet never wins a slam. So Tickle thought, well, I've never won a slam, so that means I'm the best poet. So then he would bill himself as the best poet. But I was a judge at I think it was at the National Poetry Library or something. It was a big posh place anyway. And unfortunately, because of my high marks, Tickle won a slam. So since then, he's not been the best poet anymore.
And then he passed on his Facebook page, the best poet, to me, because I had never won a slam. And I was the admin of that. But then I won a slam by doing a poem called "I've Never Won a Slam." And
you won a slam?
Yeah, I got absolutely. I fucked the finals. I got to the finals and absolutely ruined it by second guessing the person on before me was doing a funny poem. So I tried to change it up and made a last minute change. So my advice is don't change it. Stick to the plan, regardless of what goes on before you, because that's how I fucked it. But I did win a slam just because it was a working class versus middle class poetry slam, and I actually beat Layla Josephine in the final with a Musselburgh accent as a muscle relaxant. And that's not the name of the poem, that's the full poem. So it was kind of like everyone wanted working class to win. So it was just, that's why I won. But let's get back.
I was actually the compere that night, but I was so drunk I forgot the ending.
That's right, so you were.
Yeah,
I think you gave me a 10 because you just wanted working class to win. So let's go for that.
My score.
What's the score?
I'm going to mark him down so that I don't ruin his career. So 5.3.
5.3 from Jim. Martin Lindebank.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much in that as well, and I don't think we've really defined what I think I don't know if there is a definition for what this slam is looking for, in terms of poetry. But tonight's been so diverse. Then Tickle's just come up with this absolutely like the rhythm of it. It's just and the content is really there. The technical phrase mastership that he's got. It's like it's you have to maybe listen to it a few times to really start getting all what the sort of texture of the fabric is of his wordplay. But I mean, it's pretty amazing, man, to be fair. So I think that was very strong. And technical issues aside, I think the suit and the job interview made up for it in terms of balance. So I'll give it an 8.2.
It's an 8.2. Sammy B is writing the scores down, and we've got some good comments. Ray says Tickle best dressed, a hint of iambic. Oh, for fuck's sake, someone else say that.
Iambic pentameter.
Delivered so fast, I think I need to read it because my old brain couldn't keep up. Otherwise, love the staging and your charismatic presence. And we need to get Ray on here to do some poetry as well. His comments are poetry. Ian Mackay, you lovely bastards. Much love, Mackay. Keep your eyes posted for Summer Beach Party. Rave Midsummer 2022. Please keep us posted on that. That sounds good. Alan says, urban bars, aye. Martin says, mental tickle, you're hired. Rab saying, nice, quick fire street poetry. But is street poet? Is it?
Yeah.
Always reminds me of Mark Richardson, the Dundee street poet, who was supposed to be, he nearly was on the show tonight, but he's actually doing a real slam in real life. And not as prestigious, not as almost prestigious as this one, I don't think. And yeah, so amazing. Oh, one more comment. Will do. Yep, Ian, keep us. I would like to go to a rave next summer, so keep me posted. Thank you, Tickle. I hope you get the job interview and you might have got through to the next round. We'll need to see. It's a high score, so we might see you for part 2. Go back in, get a cup of tea, warm up, and we'll let you know, Tickle. And check out Tickle's music on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. He's got an album under the name El Papa Giraffe in Bandcamp, which is one of my favourite things of all time. So what else we got? We have Nick next. So before I bring Nick on, I'm going to... No, we don't need to do the Wheel of Fortune anymore. It's going to go Nick, Aldo, then Rab.
Do it with one name in it, just to see who wins it.
Well, do you know... Okay, so it's actually Rab. So what I did was I accidentally deleted Rab when I did the last Wheel of Fortune. So let's do it. Let's hopefully he wins. Hopefully he wins. So it's Rab Maguire for the last Wheel of Fortune. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's a close one.
Oh my God!
That's Rab. Well done, Rab. Congratulations. Please report to the backstage. Please report to the backstage area. I think he's already there anyway. We have all the poets in the backstage area now. So so yeah, now we've got to go to Nick. Nick, hello. And
hello.
Welcome.
Hello. Am I audible?
Hi, Nick.
Yes, you are audible. You're very audible. Awesome. What have you got for us tonight?
This is a love poem. This kiss is first in igniting instinct. This kiss is distinct. This night isn't brimming with gin. This is silky. This blink, filling this dimly lit idyll with light binding ministry. This kiss is printing spindly glyphs in skin whilst mining lightning. This thistling clinch is stirring, whipping winds whilst birds fly with frint striking wings, igniting inky midnight. This kiss isn't my living, isn't gigging in grind mixing flirt mills, isn't wintry silt mingling with guilt gripping grit. This living's gimmick, biting lips, lifting shirts, fists gripping hips, hitting this, giving drillings, timing, riding skills, switch flipping, dignity missing, firmly stripping, firing dick pits with grinder trilling, rise smiling while slimy pitch rifts, filling this delf filled with risky prick biffs, flitting by night instills risk limits and shifts. If my mind insists, is this living with HIV? Is this living? This isn't, I think. Living is simply sinning with kingpin's lids, divining my limits, cinching my spirit in with timid clinic visits, cyclic pills hit by light, by night, pit, click, sip, swill, pit, click, sip, swill, pit, click, sip, swill. Is this my imprint, my stylish, inspiring imprint? Lying nightly, billing tricks, swigging pills, it's insipid. This kiss fits. This kiss is swimming in mist, inviting lips glint with drips rising whilst it sinks, tying, stitching this shifting in, jibing with him in this thrilling drift. This tingling, clinging kiss is rinsing skin with limb twisting, mind rippling bliss. This twitch, lilting in rhythmic drifts, this pirate bristling richly lifts in, smithing spirits with willing stiffs. This kiss is rich. This kiss is swish. This sick sheep fix. This kiss is kitsch. This kiss, this tryst is fizzling, dimming, dying.
You call that radio? You call that radio TV? No. You call that radio TV?
This is You Call That Radio.
This is You Call That Radio. Absolutely brilliant, Nick. That was amazing use of words there. I love that. Let's see what the judges make of it. Let's start with Jenny.
I really love that, Nick. That's some kiss, isn't it?
you.
What I really loved about it was it's you were so into it, and I really loved all the vowels and consonants, and your pronunciation was it was lovely to watch. So I'm going to give you an 8.8.
An 8.8. It's a massive score. You've got to be pleased with that, Nick. What a start.
Oh, yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
I love the use of the repetition and the bags and bags and bags of rhymes in there. That's no pun intended, Bagshaw. But it's very dramatic. The berry suits your hair as well. But what the fuck is that round your neck? What is that? Is it an animal or something?
It's just a trim. It's just a fur trim.
It's a trim. It's a fur trim. Oh, it's a trim of part of your jumper. It's like a bear suit or something. Is it a bear suit?
It's a cape.
I didn't quite get the fast bits. I didn't quite hear them all when you did this stuff, the speedier part, and I felt as if you weren't totally confident in it. The poem you were doing quite a bit of reading, and it maybe needs a wee bit of rehearsal. But I'll give that 5.5. I think
5.5. Martin Windybank.
It's going for a bit of a trim myself.
Join me.
That was cool. I like you really kept it going. I wasn't I was wondering where it was going to go, but you kept that sort of. You really convinced me that you were believing this, and it was true, and then you kind of finished it off with a kind of like that solemn note. It was just like so. Yeah. Because it was a voyage through all these words, and we're trying to, keep going with it, and it was, that was a good trip. It was cool. And as Jenny says, it must have been some kiss, but appreciate that. Appreciate it. So for me, 7.5.
7.5. That's the scores on the door. Nick, have you got any poetry out on the internet or any gigs coming up?
No gigs coming up at the minute because it's coming up to the end of the year. But if you search
it's coming
my name
up to
Facebook,
another collapse of society, I think we're coming up to.
Yeah, I think so. But if you search my name on Facebook, you'll find my poetry page there.
Amazing stuff. Okay, and some comments coming in with quality. Wee Jimmy, love Baby Doll. Ray says, nice alliteration, Nick. Sounded beatbox-like at times. Great rhyming too. Liked your theatrical presentation style. Very watchable. Not bad, says Alan, with a thumbs up. Beautiful, says Tickle. Voy, FYI. I don't know what that means. Am I being stupid here? Ruth said this twice. For your information, is FYI. I don't know what Voy is. And but yeah, amazing. And also there's lots of comments congratulating Rob Maguire for winning the one-man Wheel of Fortune on yourself, says David Spliffington. And Rob is thanking his adoring audience. So yeah, amazing. Thank you very much, Nick. And we might see you for part 2. So I think we have 2 poets left, and it's supposed to be Aldo, but he's not here yet. So we're going to bring on the winner of the one-man Wheel of Fortune himself, Rob. Congratulations on winning the Wheel of Fortune.
Thank you. It's my proudest moment. I'll just go home now, I think. Although I'm already home, of course. So. You're right.
So please take it away.
Okay, cool. I'll give this a go. Of all the lost things, torn from us, stolen, broken, shattered into dust, shamed towards silence and cruel, unflinching scrutiny, in the endless fallow heartache of brutal ignobility, of all the lost things, the gravest casualty is hope. If you have it, let it sing above this storm and tear the throat of blind intensity. It's drenched with life relentlessly, soaked in pain, sodden with laughter, standing at the edge of ever after, fierce, final, desperate obstinance to the bastard shallow gods. There is no innocence to hope. It is fury and a shocking illumination, an invitation for truth to move and keep on moving, looking past this last eruption, no giving in to stuckness. It is battle worn, yet breathing on in inner stillness, cursed with an infinite resilience. It is outrage and the agony of witness. It burns the heart with blood immortal. Hope is painful, hope is sore, and so I know we are not hopeless yet.
Thank you very much, Rob. Brilliant. Let's go to the judges. All right, Jenny.
Hello. You jarred a few times, and I missed little chunks of what
I'm
you were
sorry.
saying. But I think it was heartfelt. It was obviously quite a personal poem, and you delivered it well from what I could see. I'm going to give you a 7.9.
7.9. Let's go to Jim.
Yeah, it was a shame about there was wee sort of text sort of glitch where just like one word that kind of went missing. It was very of the times, you know what I mean? I think it's a very, very important to write about those kind of things at times. The great t-shirt, and also, but I think sometimes you slipped into a wee bit kind of poetry voice, if you know what I mean, in the way you delivered it. But I'll give you 5.3. I think 5.3. Which don't get upset. That is good for me.
That is good. Like, I mean, he was averaging a 4. He was averaging a 4 last season. Martin Windybank.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, that was very poetic, actually. I do agree with Jim with that. It's kind of, you did go into the poetry thing, but I think because it's a poetry slam, that's fair enough, you know, because to me that was what more like, you know, the sort of that's poetry and heartfelt and really coming from your own person, you know, and how you were feeling and things like that. So yeah, it's great. It's just, like you said, again, it was a wee bit of technical stuff, but you know, you still get the idea. And I'd like to give that 7.5.
7.5 from Martin Windybank. And we will go to the comments. Where are you, Rob? There we are. So nice alliteration. All right, sorry, no, excellent stuff, said Alan. He was loving that. Quality, it says Baby Doll. And yeah, man, have you got you've got a post on Instagram? Is that right? Or is what's the best way to keep up with what you're doing?
Instagram, yeah, just started that recently. I'll stick the thing in the comments.
Yes, please do. Also, a wee shout out to any of the poets that are in the studio. If you've got anything that you want to promote, if you've got any links, send it in the private chat, and then I'll bring it onto the screen as well. So thank you very much, Rob. Hopefully see you in part 2. We are now going to the final poet of the evening, all the way from South America, I believe, but just back in Scotland. It's Aldo, the wee mad poet. Take it away, mate.
How you doing? Can you hear me well, folks?
I can hear you, mate. I can hear you.
Pleasure to be here. You know, I'm not the slam type. I don't slam much, but it's just a pleasure. So, here we go. This is the poem I've got for you. It's called The Ballad of Toucan Dan. This is not a PG. I hope I've got my mise en scène right and all that, Sound. Oh, what a man is Toucan Dan. You know just whom I'm speaking. So cheaply blottered out his pan for days he wanders reeking. He's quite punny. After 2 slugs out his pint, and after 1 Mary slinks off for a shite, then after 5 tans, he's off nursing a semi. His face all puffed, his nose all rough, whiskey red and phlegmy. 6 tans down, he's on the pool like Higgins. He pots the pinkin with a wink, he's fingering Mrs. Biggins. 1 pint down the hatch, he's doing his taekwondo. He can't even strike a match, but 1 pint and he's Rambo. 1 pint, 1 tan, and he's up making a speech. The buttons of his shirt open like the street. You'll notice that he's missing 1 of his teeth, and he's on a final warning for breach of the peace. He's abducted karaoke. He stinks of wacky backy because he's had a cheeky tokey. 1 pint, 2.5 tan later, he's got a hernia for trying to suplex Big Slater. Mrs. Biggins is off with her husband for Ruggy, and Dan's now chatting up the dodgy gang of birds for Ruggy. There's half-cut hell in her domes like a fridge, and she'd delight in hanging his balls for a bridge. There's big booming Barbara, with a shredded physique, whose uncle for Scarborough's punts DMT. With Barbara's burly bowling fist, she'd knock out any more men than she'd kissed in Chelsea the Hatcher. Oof, the sexy redhead, queen of the scratcher and a python in bed, a real Venus flytrap man catcher, it said. The big bootsome called her, and shagged half a lanark, probably descended for the Battle of Bannock. Burn! And not a 3-year game, and Dan's no too shabby too. Here's just hoping these birds aren't stabby, Joe. 1.5 pints after, Dan's starkers in the bath. The wild birds frae Bursby all cackle and laugh. Oh, they're big bad pot noodles and amber leaf fags, and fuck knows this could be anyone's gaff. Blackout. 2 pints are done. And our toucan man wakes in the kitchen, spooning a bam. His Twitter tweeting and all Instagram is full of the chaos unleashed by the scam, and through the fog of his eyes he sees in his palm a dreadful looking hoagie of lamb, and he climbs for his scratcher like a beast in a clam, an artist of sorts and a beast of the land. Curse blessed is the man, and long live him, long sing we the ballad of Toucan Dan.
Brothers and sisters, that's you, Daniel. Are you before me?
You call that radio?
Hello? Hello, yes, this is Dog.
You call that radio indeed, and that was the voice of Sammy B you heard at the end there. The best you call that radio in a bit.
Oh, cheers, Marky boy.
I think you're the best.
Yeah. Hi, Aldo, how you doing?
How are you doing, my dear? You're looking well.
Hi.
I like your wee witch hat.
Cheers for that. Oh, I thought you were turning the map on it.
That's right as well.
Nobody's a poet in November, Aldo. Nobody's a poet in November.
My man.
We were in Aaron, absolutely wasted, and I think you were trying to get festival slots, and then I was wasted. And my advice was nobody's a poet in November. I don't even know what I was talking about, but we did actually do a poetry show last November called Nobody's a Poet in November. We didn't do a show this year because you were kickboxing in South America or something.
Aye, well, I couldn't get.
You're a kickboxer. You're a champion. You're a champion.
Together, so I thought I would put them together in the ring of some sort. Aye.
Well, I'm glad you're back to maybe not. It's a brutal competition here as well. So hopefully you be unscathed from Jim.
I'm just happy
Jim's
to be here, honestly.
verbal bullets. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's
Happy
go
to be
to
here.
the champion, Jenny. Last year's champion, Jenny. What'd you make of that?
I really liked the rhythm of it. It was quite a structure. I liked all the rhyming. I have met quite a few one-can dans in my time. I love the Bucky sitting next to you, and I love the Queen of the Scratcher. So I'm going to give you 8.3.
8.3, big scores, Jim.
The Bucky was there a mistake, Jenny. That was there anyway. That was it. Was there a prop? It was just like it was already there. You're right, Aldo. You're definitely not a slam type. I couldn't follow it, mate. To be honest, because it was like he's a 2-can guy, but it was like 1 pint in, then it was 2.5 pints in, then it was 5 pints in, then it was 1 can again, and then 1.5 and all that. And it all added up to a lot of fucking pints, the Toucan Dan, and he was still going, man. He was still at it and all that stuff. I have to be honest here, I didn't get the cultural references, the name people. I don't know what Ruggie is or where Ruggie is.
Rutherglen.
Is it? Aye. Well, I suspect that this might have a bit of local appeal in like Cambus Lang or something like that. But I'll give it 5.2, I think.
Thank you.
That Cambus Lang market is a good market. It's a good market. Let's go to Martin. Oh, Martin, you're muted. Did I mute you? Oh, there you go.
Not anymore. There you go. Yeah, so I've definitely met a couple of Toucan Dans, or maybe even that one. You know, who knows? Sounds like a charmer. You know what I mean? But yeah, fair enough. That was a tale. That was like a ballad. You know, I suppose that's a ballad. So, you know, from the some dark nights. You know, you know. But I like the good rhythms and stuff like that. You know. I give it a good score for you. I give it a good 7.4 for you.
7.4. And Aldo, what's how can people follow your poetry? Are you going to be obviously you've been busy kickboxing and stuff, but are you getting back in a bit that you're back in Scotland?
I'll be back doing some live stuff, but if I'm sort of one of those guys on Instagram, it's Wee Mad Poet. So I normally do. If anybody contacts me, I write to them and. I'm a sort of a people sort of guy. So if you contact me on Instagram, I write poems to folk personally, kind of thing. I'm not really a mainstream guy. Wee Mad Poet on Instagram. I'll send you poems for a laugh. You know what I mean? Just for fun.
Ray says, Aldo, I smiled all the way through this. A great story, poetically delivered in flat cap Bucky style. Great rhythm and alky imagery. Again, one I'd love to hear again. Brilliant. Aldo the Humble, says Leo. Martin says, love it. Burns-esque. Wee Mad Poet, brilliant, says Barbara. Excellent bottle of tonic in the background. Bravo. An easy crowd here. All you need is a bottle of Bucky in the background. There's Celto Mel spending money in disco lights that don't work when she could have just put a bottle of Bucky in the background. Tickle says, I'd struggle to deliver a poem after a bottle of Bucky. No wonder, Tickle, the amount of words and how fast you do it. I struggle anyways as it is. Now you don't, Tickle, being humble. Yes, Aldo, says Natalie. And yeah, amazing, man. Well, I loved that. I thought it was a great poem. We might see you in the next round. We're about to go to the scores, I think, after we have our final poet. But we have our final poet.
Okay, I've got it.
We have. Oh,
that was the last one.
That was the last poet. What's that? Happy? Did you get a 50th bottle of wine? What does that say? How the fuck did that happen? Happy birthday, anyway, Sammy. I think everyone, round of applause. Sammy is hinting that it's her birthday, and congratulations on hitting the big 5-0. And although you did it. She did have an over the top house party and didn't invite any of us. I noticed, but she claims she did. Must have just got lost in the post.
Must have got lost in the post.
Busy time of year.
Lost, mate.
What we're going to do is I think we're going to just play a tune just to have a wee break. Jim will probably need a fag, and I want to just stop listening to poetry for a second. So I'm going to put on. I'm just going to put on one of my own tunes because I don't. Right,
how many folk go through, Mark?
That's it. We're done.
How many go through to the?
So yeah, we're going to go. I think. What do you think? We go top 5, top 6. We're going to go top 6 because I thought there was 9, but I don't want it to be. I have a top 5 and then one person gets kicked out for next week. So we're going to lose 2 poets. Sadly, we're going to lose 2 poets. So give us a top 6.
9 folk.
There isn't 9 folk. I got that wrong. There's only 8 poets. There is 9.
There is 9, Mark. I'm the one doing the numbers here. There's 9.
Well, how come there's only 8 poets in the flyer?
Carol Vorderman,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there is 9 poets.
There's a wee extra at the end.
Thankfully, we've got Carol Vorderman here. Turns out to Carol Vorderman here. Keep me right. So there's 9 poets. That's good. So we're going to lose 3 poets, sadly, and 6 poets will do 1 poem, and the top 4 will go through to the final next Saturday. Next Wednesday, this time next week.
We're losing 3.
We're losing 3. Yeah. So we want the top 6. Okay.
Get the specs on for this.
Okay, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to play one of my tunes because it's no. I could be doing me a few more views. This is from my Jackal Trades album, which came out earlier this year, and I spent a long time editing this, so I hope you like it. We'll be back to announce the top 6 poets, and they will all do one more poem each.
Never thought I'd see the day that envy gardens or drug dealers selling haters getting presidential pardons about every day in lockdown with furlough pay. And now some of them are rich and I reach minimum wage. See you banana bread, please shut up and behave. Half of you cunts never left the house anyway. All tone is lost on the social media. Every emoji makes me feel inferior. The rise of our democracy, my brother is watching me and sponsored ads. But the dead of democracy, the world are calling me. My phone is a shit show and my inbox is a novel full of people I don't know. My notifications are doing my nut and guts always want me to do stuff for nothing for me right now. The social's not working. The day I delete this is the day I do something. I hate my notifications. I love the dopamine of when they like my status. They want instant connection all day. I can't take it. I can always reply because I'm sick of it and waiting. 24/7, 365. Took a day off once and it's sparked rumors I had died. I'm in 24/7, 364. 23/7 like Epstein's increased security. A PC with the virus checker, online wire, searching nudity. Matching, get a maximum sentence for a new suddenly with immunity. Feature herself and the head 10 times newspaper stood the other way. Meanwhile, not a day goes by, the Glasgow Live posts a question that's intention is to anger and divide. What a strange timeline that Facebook made. Rage equals engagement is how now we all get paid. We used to laugh at flat earth before the advent of clickbait suggested videos. Open up the rabbit holes that drag the suggestible people down the darkest news shows. I blame the mainstream media for cozying up to them and those. There's a posted question loads will do account and yes, even oppose. Meanwhile, corporations you more power than the MPs who are peace voters with flags, not facts. May wonder why this action leads to QAnon, Twitter storms, and your dad guarding statues in your mall. Being on TikTok like and get rich quick. Assholes, I hate my notifications. I love the dopamine of when they like my status. Instant connection all day. I can't take it. I can always reply because I'm sick of it and waiting. 24/7, 365. Took a day off once and it sparked rumors I had died. I'm in 24/7, 364.
Jackal Trades. At this point, album out now. At this point, 2 is out soon, but I just thought I'd milk this album. Sorry, I'm back. Oh my God, I fucked it. Right, we're back. Although I think I've lost everyone. Yeah. Oh no, we're back. That's cool. So subscribe to Jackal Trades on YouTube there. Click that link to subscribe to Jackal Trades on YouTube. Jackal Trades on Spotify here. Jackal Trades on Bandcamp here. And the album's called At This Point. I hope you liked it. We're going to go to Sammy B just now to find out who. So Tickle's asking, did you delete the Google search lyrics and reverse the clip smart? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I don't. Could you ask that question in a sentence I understand, Tickle? I don't know what that means. Bra, sweet cheeks, love baby dolls, says Colette. So I think we're ready to find out who's through to the semi-final. Sammy B, are you ready to tell us?
Majiko's just come in and all.
Well, Majiko knows it's an important part.
Majiko's just arrived for this announcement.
We're going to find out top 6 poets are.
Top 6.
Top 6.
In no particular order.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, no particular order then. Let's
In
go
no
for that.
particular order. The top 6 going through are Time Gypsy, Gordon Powery, Tickle McNichol, Joe the Ark, Natalie Jane Clark, and Nick Bagshaw.
Amazing.
And can I show you?
Yeah.
There's what it says there. Top 6.
Top 6. Close as fuck. Don't blame me. I wasn't a judge. Shock Soren. Amazing stuff. Okay, so the 6 poets. Can you just read out one more time so people can go to the studio?
Absolutely, Mark. It is Time Gypsy, Gordon Powery, Tickle McNichol, Joe the Ark, Natalie Jane Clark, and Nick Bagshaw. Woo, well
Amazing
done.
stuff.
To all you guys,
Congratulations.
and well done to them all, Mark, because I enjoyed every single one of them. By
Amazing.
yourselves.
Everyone's been brilliant tonight. Everyone's been amazing. And we're going to go through. So if everybody, I'll do a. Could you? Oh, you've not typed it up. It'd be good if you could type that in private chat, and I'll add into the random generator thing. And Neanderthal Bard. I'm going to have to kick you out the studio just now, mate. If you could watch it on, hold on, he's here. You're here, mate. Thank you so much for your sacrificial poetry. We'll get you on the show for a proper interview soon, mate. I'm going to kick you out the studios to make way for the finalists of semi-finals, who are, we've got Nick, we've got Natalie, and we've got Joe here. And we need Time Gypsy to come back. We need Tickle McNichol to come back, but I know he's got bad internet, so we'll do the random generator and see who's first. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? Because there's only 3 people here, is let's just go with the poets that are here. Oh no, hold on, everyone's turning up again. Gordon's here. We'll do the now. Is the random name? Is the Wheel of Fortune fun? Are people enjoying that?
Yeah.
It's exciting, Mark. I think it's added a bit of, a bit of mystery and a bit of like, woo.
Yeah, I have
a bit of razzmatazz.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I could double up with Carol Smiley and all if you're a fortune. Oh, Carol's.
Okay, let's do the Wheel of Fortune then. It is the fairest way. Let's be honest. So we've got Time Gypsy, Gordon, Tickle, Joe, Natalie, and Nick. I'm adding them to the Wheel of Fortune as we speak. I don't know, Jenny, do you want to give us a poem just while I get the next stage set up? I know I'm putting you in the spot, but I confirm. Last year's returning champion.
I was completely away in a different planet there, and I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, so am I, and I'm confused with the Wheel of Fortune. I made mistakes earlier that I apologise for, so I need to concentrate. I'm not good at that. So, Jenny, Scottish champion, you call that radio champion last year. Please give us a poem.
I love being put on the spot. So this poem is part of a trilogy that I wrote for the Old Market Theatre in Brighton, and it's called Hope. It started as a murmur, and far in the distance, they could feel a stampede heading in their direction. They don't even know it yet, but this unmistakable force hurtling towards them is hope. Rushing through the dark, dank, and dusty landscape, pushing past this desolate destruction, galloping towards them fast and furious. They have reached the bottom, and now the only way is up. And this hope starts to awaken, flickering inside of them, igniting one by one, whispering, which starts to stoke the fire faster, the whisper turning into chatter, the chatter turning into inspiring conversation, and this hope rumbles on from person to person. There is no stopping it now. Rushing from cities through villages and towns, this hope has become a chorus of joy and glorious technicolor, laughing and drinking, dancing and singing, outpouring love, creative thinking. The salty sea air in your face and the sound of muffled beats beating from the beach bars that are open and full of people. Happiness found in a field, festivals for days, and we will be together in the after haze. Going to the cinema to eat your body weight in popcorn, flip down seats that ask for no feet up on them. The lights are dimmed, time is suspended. The rustling sound of bags of sweets and being shushed by the old lady sitting in the front seats. A party with all your favorite people in one room, reminiscing and talking of all the missing when that song that everybody knows the words to drops. Sweet dreams are made of this. There are hands in the air and twirling round. All your friends singing at the tops of their voices is the most perfect sound. Arms around necks and swaying, busting out dance moves to the music's playing, propping up the bar with cocktails and dreams, finishing each other's sentences to get the punchline in. Jack and Ori's story time with everybody listening and joining in. I will never take this for granted ever again. The gratitude that will stay with us. This is paradise. The ordinary never felt so good. Thank you. That was hope.
Brilliant, Jenny. Let's get the judge. Judges are back. Superb. Well done, Jenny. The last year's champion of the You Call That Radio Poet of the Year, then Scottish champion, then runner-up in the world. And we are going to find out.
I was literally, when I was doing it, I've just like been eating when nobody's been watching me, and I was thinking, God, have I got broccoli in my teeth? This is going to be.
It's all right because I've been a cheapskate and moved to a lower StreamYard link. We don't have high definition anymore, so I just pick up broccoli, so it's fine. I didn't go for the bottom level of StreamYard because the bottom level had a StreamYard logo that I couldn't live with. I couldn't live with StreamYard logo on it, but we're in the mid tier. And if you want us to move into high definition, then sign up to the Patreon at patreon.com/You Call That Radio. And thanks to all the people that do support the show. It's amazing. I think it's about 189 E's, and that is why we've been able to do about 350 shows since lockdown began. 350 shows actually in Boxing Day. So we're going to have an all-dayer in Boxing Day. So join us for that. What else is happening? Next week, we've got Slippy Skills, which is an amazing MC for down south. And on the 22nd, we've got the Slam final. And make sure you hit the subscribe button because we're uploading loads of great live performances as well. Let's go to the final of the semi-finals. And we need to get the random name generator thing.
Just say, I wasn't calling Jim an ass for nothing. It's causing the private chat. You gave Jenny a 4.8.
Let's do it.
You're an ass, Jim.
Who is the first?
Jim, you're an ass.
Jim, you're an ass. And first up is Jodie Ark. Jodie Ark is first on, and the first finalist of the semi-finals. And obviously remember the final itself is this time next week. So let's see, Jodie Ark, take it away.
Hi. Okay, this one's called Coal Dust. From coal dust, my heart is made. From coal dust.
Oh, sorry, Joe. Can we just start that again?
Yeah, no worries.
Sorry, I messed up. Sorry. Take it away, Joe.
Okay, take two. So yeah, coal dust. From coal dust, my heart is made. From coal dust, my body's baked. From coal dust, my thoughts unfold. Feel coal dust in every pore. See my wings reflecting gold. They grip the sunshine, avoid the cold. Recognise my brother's mould. The place I should stand, the place I fold. It's hard to shift a mind that's old. Ancient feelings, broken souls. Where I learned to be so bold, to take a beating on a grassy knoll. From coal dust, my heart is made. From coal dust, my body's baked. From coal dust, my thoughts unfold. Feel coal dust in every pore. Sit under table, steal a beer. I hear debates of angry fear. I understand how we are treated here. Bullied, bashed while we bristle and sear. Energy of people proud, fueled by illusion that they hear our sound. Broken spirits, gritted teeth, passion peaked in a poignant speech. From coal dust, my heart is made. From coal dust, my body's baked. From coal dust, my thoughts unfold. feel coal dust in every pore. More than just a memory, a wider connection lives in me. Hack back through those moving seeds, hands black with silt, hearts beating to be free. Strong and fearful, wrong and right, moving in time with an invisible light. A broken spirit builds our soul, ignite a people no limits hold. From coal dust, my heart is made. From coal dust, my body's baked. From coal dust, my thoughts unfold. Feel coal dust in every pore. Thank you.
Amazing stuff. Joe the Arc, smashing it. And yeah, for a poem to Fife about because your family's all miners, is that right?
Yeah. So I mean, I suppose the poem's kind of about kind of exploring how cultural heritage is passed down. You know, is it sitting listening to your family chat? Is it something bigger than that? I suspect it's something something bigger. Dare I say a bit spooky, because I like my spooky shit. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so that's really what it is, just investigating that.
Amazing. Let's go to the judges. Let's start with Jenny.
Yeah, I really loved the idea of kind of your heritage kind of being passed down, and the repetition of coal dust. It's really beautifully delivered. I really enjoyed it, and I am going to give you an 8.4.
8.4.
8.4.
Thank you, Jenny.
Jim.
No, very much my own history as well, Joe. I really like that. Like Jenny, I like to use the repetition and all that. So I'll give it 6.2, I think.
Oh, a 6.2. Let's check the spreadsheets.
I've just broke the spreadsheets.
Somebody check the spreadsheets, please. Sorry, I was just talking to my okay, and
yeah, that was really cool. I've not heard that one before as well. That was.
If you ever see Martin at your poetry gig or your music gig, run away.
Just in case. I mean, no, that was great. Yeah, exactly. I was really tuning into that and listening in, and it's love the words, and again, this kind of historical reference, and questioning it and stuff like that. It's just really cool, and obviously we all understand only a wee bit of what the plight of that might have been. So it's good to get a bit more of an understanding. So it was all round a good performance as well, with the speed and the delivery. So, I mean, I don't know. I have to give you a pretty high mark for this. I'm feeling, I mean, I feel like you really raised the bar since the last one. So, so I'm going to go for. I mean, I think it's going to have to be my biggest score tonight. That was a good one. I think I'll go for an 8.4 for that.
8.4.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Coming in. Beautiful Joe says Colette, and beautiful says Barbara. 10 out of 10 says Claire.
Thank you.
And yes, splendid says Tickle. Phenomenal stuff, Joe says Alan Rorison. And that's a good. I think that's a big score. So well done, Joe. You're free, you can relax now for the rest of the night.
I know, relax and enjoy all the other poets. Yeah.
And if you are successful, you'll be back next Wednesday for the final. So thank you very much, Joe. We're going to get our next poet. I need to get the random number generator, the random name generator. Let's see who is in the wheel of steel. Who could it be? So I have deleted Joe, so it should be somebody. So it's Nick, and I believe Nick is here already. So please, Nick, take it away.
This is a poem about work. It's called Work. I was your first, but you sure as fuck weren't mine. I'm the doubts you douse in wine. I'm the glances you steal half blind when you're away with work and your wife's far behind. I'm the release you'll find soothes your wounds with easy grind. I'm your gateway drug, the scratch to that itch, a cooling salve for your burning desire, a scoop of ice cream that melts in your hand to numb you. I am fire, earth, and wind. I'm the depths you never dared swim. I was your first. But you sure as fuck weren't mine. I swim through canals laced with brine, climb bergs adrift in frigid seas to fish for threshes, ecstasy to bob and dive at the tug of a line is really just a job to me. On foamy rocks, the tales don't end of singing temptations to the sailor men in search of treasures before vanishing, no longer young or alive or ravishing. They crash for the product, not the packaging. I was your first, but you sure as fuck weren't mine. I am a port on chalky coastline. As merchants dock and sell their wares, I lay my tariffs on the amateur players, trading silks and spices for easy measure. I make a business doing your pleasure. When tidal guilt rolls in and grows profound, you've sailed away from your flimsy vows. When tears well up, dikes burst, and groins can't shelter from the worst. When self-loathing breaks you down, I'm the one who sticks around. At least for the next, 20 minutes.
Amazing stuff. Nick Bagshaw, smashing it. Jim, Jenny, Sammy, Martin. Let's go to Jenny.
Really like that. The title is inspired work. I love the fact that you were using wine as a prop. I enjoy watching you perform. I think that you always feel really into what you're doing, and you've obviously perfected kind of nailing the delivery of it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to give you an 8.3.
8.3. Jim?
No, that was really good. I suspect you know that poem better. You're more comfortable with it and more confident with the poem. So it's really, really well delivered. Good subject matter as well. So I don't have anything disparaging to say about it, unfortunately. So I'll get a 6.3, I think.
Oh,
6.3. Wow. Big points. Martin?
I might have broke the spreadsheet though.
Thank you.
Was that?
The spreadsheet is bug up with that.
Was that was it, so it's entitled Work? Was that Work talking? Was that? I'm trying to. I just want to make sure I get this correct, because I feel like, was that kind of like the idea of what work does to people?
No, it's about sex work.
Okay, cool. Good. Good. I'm glad we cleared that one up. It's good. It's good to know. Yeah. I was good. It was very well delivered, and sorry about that. Yeah. That's
You're a bit flustered here, man, about that.
A little bit. You know. It was fabulously delivered. I was like thinking at one point, man, I'd really like I saw a guy I know, like a guy I work with. I was like, I'd really appreciate it if he was just like kind of like opened his door and you were just there and you said that to him. I'd be, let's imagine it. It's quite funny. Absolutely.
What's the scores in the doors, Martin?
No. I need to do something. I need to say something. No, it's because like it was from the first one as well. It's like you really went into that one, and again, brilliant performance. So yeah, it was for me. That's an 8.3.
8.3. Wow, great scores.
Oh, thank you.
Nick, you should be on stage. Loved the ebb and flow of the theatrical presentation. Loved the mundane phrases interspersed among the colour. 20 minutes. Mary's laughing at Martin. Very good poem. Excellent stuff, Nick, says Alan. Also a wee comment from Ray the brass player about Joe's performance. Joe took a song form with repeated choruses. Early it moved from a dark coal dust to golden wings, a sudden change. This Ray the brass player, I commend you for your comments today. And everyone who's commenting. It's been great. So thank you very much, Nick. Will he get through to the final? We're about to find out, because we've two. I don't know. We've actually got more than that. I've lost track. So I'll take Nick out of there.
Four folk left.
4 folk left. We've got four poems left.
Yeah.
And let's go to the random thing the random generator thing. So
Wheel of Fortune.
the Wheel of Fortune. Does Wheel of Fortune have a song? Like, I feel like I should know the
I
song.
remember back in Bob had the one. Spin, spin, spin the wheel of justice. See
Aye,
how fast the bastard turns.
Yeah, but there's Wheel of Fortune. What's Wheel of Fortunes? I feel like that should have a famous theme tune because it's such a big show for so long. Does anyone remember that? No. Who cares? Who cares? Right, let's just find out.
Spin the wheel, spin the wheel, spin the wheel, the poetry wheel. Oh yeah.
Natalie, which is good because I think Natalie is already here, which is good. I'm actually going to spin the wheel again, just in case. I know Tickle's got to go outside to a street. I'm aware of that. So let's take. So Natalie will be next, and then after Natalie, we will have.
Spin the wheel, spin the poetry wheel on Untitled Radio. Yeah.
Gordon Powery. Gordon is next, so it's Natalie, then it's Gordon, and then it'll be Time Gypsy or Tickle, but we'll keep you in suspense for what order that'll be in. Keep that in the back burner for later. Natalie, congratulations on getting to the final of the semi-finals. Take it away.
Thank you. We just content warning with this one, themes of sexual assault and violence. So I just want to start off with that. So if anyone wants to switch off just now, they can. Around 20 women were executed as witches on the North Inch in Perth. The park I run laps around, the place where I take my dog, the way home from the pub. They say well-behaved women rarely make history as a way to say I should be bold and fearless, take no shit, keep fighting, keep the anger flowing, keep spitting lava, don't give up. What they don't add is that badly behaved women are suffocated with unbridled judgment and the threat of violence, and that being badly behaved comes in the simplest of ways. We don't get to have our revolutions because our energy is spent on worrying as we walk home late or go running in the dark park. The North Inch isn't lit the whole way round. No wonder we have hot girl summer. It's not the heat of it all. It's not the heat of the sunshine. It's the light of it all. I can run, sing, skip, hop, jump all around that park at any hour of the day and not be badly behaved. And just remember not to start tracking your Strava run from your house. Just remember to cover up no matter how sweltering the sublime sun is. Just remember not to run alone. Just remember to say no and to not say no. I remember at 14, my mum told me that week her friend was pushed into her car and raped in the Asda car park next to my high school at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Just remember not to do your shopping alone either. Female MPs receive additional training to deal with the additional fucking torrent of terrorisation, the bullying and intimidations on their social media. Just remember not to speak your mind. I walked past 2 wee shops on my way home from town, the Courier headlines bold behind the latticed frames. In the 7 years I've lived here, there's been at least as many headlines stating women aged whatever raped in Perth Park. Is it wrong of me to want them to not be displayed in such a way? Walks home punctuated by those headlines are the most anxious ridden of all, stabs of despair and empathy for them, pinpricks in every pore for me that I or a friend might be next. We only have 2 choices. Be badly behaved, take risks, live, but be unsafe. Or stay quiet, make the right choices, and live, but still be unsafe. It might seem pathetic that I stopped running in the winter. There's no light before or after work. And I'm not bold nor fearless enough. My volcano has dried up, lies dormant. I don't have the energy or strength left to be even a little bit badly behaved. Thank you.
Amazing stuff.
Brilliant.
Oh, fucking brilliant, says Sammy B. But it's not her opinion that counts. It's her counting that counts. And she's doing the scares and the dares. Let's go to Jennifer.
Your opinion doesn't count here, Sammy B.
Well, it does. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's actually checking that Sammy's doing the right numbers. We just assume that she knows how to count. She seems very good. So I trust her. Let's go to Jenny. Jenny, what did you make of that?
It's a really important topic. Isn't it weird that we as women have to remember all that shit? It makes me fucking mad. Also, badly behaved women, if they were witches in the past, then we'd all be burning at the fucking stake. I think it was beautiful. I think it was really poignant, really important messages. I think your delivery was lovely. I am going to give you a 9.0.
A 9.0, I believe that is the highest score of the night, evening. Does that sound about right, Sammy?
That's
Have we
a
had a 9
9.
yet? We've not had a 9 yet, I
You
don't
need the
think.
0 included in that, Jenny. 9 will be fine.
9 will be fine.
Confuse me at this point.
Jim?
Yeah, I agree with Jenny. It's really important to have poems talking about this, talking about victim blaming and things, and it's really well delivered. And I think I'll give it 6.30. 6.30.
6.30. And Martin?
Yeah, I mean, that's really, again, I agree. That's important, and yeah, I feel honoured to be. I'm not really judged that, because I mean that's absolutely right on. Really confidently delivered poetry about a very important subject. So, yeah, again, a high mark indeed for that. So I go for. I agree with Jenny for a 9 on that one, actually.
That's a 9, another 9.
Absolutely.
Well done, Natalie.
I'd give you a 10, Natalie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sammy. A 10 for the broom. I'm giving my witch's hat on and I ken all about what you're saying.
Yeah, I've got my witchy stuff behind me. Yeah.
You've got a 10 for the Brun. Obviously, her score doesn't count. Remember, Sammy, don't put your 10 onto that.
I'm not patting it on.
I don't think she'll need to. It looks like a very strong contender for the final. So, Natalie, there's some nice comments coming in. Alan says, outstanding, Natalie, very powerful as well. Wow, says Tickle. Ray says, Natalie felt like a story with occasional recognisable poetic forms. Good story, very topical too. Much debated on Facebook, Running Friends Scotland right now. And Sammy, yeah, that was someone just laughing at your Wheel of Fortune song, Sammy, which I did enjoy. And I would love it if you brought it back for the Wheel of Fortune. We've got Gordon next up, but just to give the poets a wee heads up of the order for the rest of it. This is between Time Gypsy and Tickle McNichol. Sammy, please take it away with a sang.
Spin, spin, spin the wheel of poetry on. You call that radio, TV.
Time Gypsy will be next after Gordon. So it's going to be Gordon next. Yep. We've got 3 poems left. It's going to be Gordon next, followed by Time Gypsy, followed by Tickle McNichol. And 4 of these poets will go through the final, which is this time next Wednesday. I'm going to bring Gordon back onto the screen. Gordon, I believe, is here. Gordon, how you doing, mate? Congratulations on getting to this final of the semi-finals. Please take it away.
Brilliant. Okay, this is a Home Office sponsored public safety announcement about the dangers of cannabis. Listen up, kids. This is the voice of experience. I knew these guys back in the day, the gaff supply by the mum of a mate, and let me say she was no pleased when she came home to discover her living room redecorated in a warm arterial spray. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to the start. We parked ourselves at my mate's mum's place one day, and my mate's mate produces a wee bag of the green stuff. Now, John and Craig, they seemed dead keen, but no me, because I'd seen that scene on screen about how your brain on drugs becomes pure edible and egg-like, and I don't need that stress in my life, so there's no changing what I said when they dragged me to jail. I swear I did not inhale. But I was still sensing an intense miasma in the atmosphere, so I tore my eyes away from my 16th view in a Cape Fear to see Big John. You're next, he drones. Holding out a smoke to take a total anti blood-stained hands, chest, arms and throat. He's covered, man. He's pure caked in this red, sticky mess. I must have been so intensely focused on Robert De Niro's quest for revenge that I somehow missed Big John getting covered in red. Is that blood, mate? I got a bit munchy, so I ate Craig. Sake, mate! What's his mum going to say? Now I ask you, how do you verbally chew through an actual cannibal high on tetrahydrocannabals? I mean, I suppose it depends how intensely they intend to assuage the glycemic index rage, but put it this way, I don't take chances. Good thing I didn't smoke that day. Now, clear-headed, with an unblemished consciousness, I did what George A. Romero wanted of us, and I went for the brain. Big John toppled and spun with red stuff just pumping out of him, and weirdly I thought about all the blood on the kitchen floor of Robert Redford's houseboat and thought that they'd in fact underplayed it a bit, and yet no real time to dwell on it, because in comes Craig's mum. Well, as you can imagine, the local constabulary were quickly dispatched and made short work of nabbing me, and I told them everything. I told them about the cannabis and the cannibalism and Juliette Lewis's nomination for the best supporting actress in it. They said it was obvious drugs were the cause of this violent cannibal uprising, and it ended with mass survival with Big John's brains bashed in and Craig's chest gaped open, exposing his lungs. Another case of devil's crop, morally corrupting the young. Diminished responsibility successfully plead. They only charged me as a simple accessory to cannibalistic gluttony, with this PSA mandated as part of my path to leniency. My sentence commuted by speaking to you about public decency and the dangers of THC, because I know you think it's harmless, but I can tell you from experience it's not. Cannabis is a gateway drug that inevitably ends in cannibalism. Don't be a dope, just say no.
Nice one, Gordon. Judges, sorry for speaking over you as well, and I'm glad I didn't put you off because that was an amazing poem. Let's go to Jenny.
I really love that. Love your delivery. I love the thought of getting the munchies so bad that you just eat your pal. It's like obscure and brilliant. And I like the strap line as well. Don't be a dope. What's the last line?
Just say no.
Don't be a dope. Just say no. Yes, that would be brilliant. And I am going to give you an 8.6.
8.6. Jim?
That is really well delivered, and really brilliant rhymes and things in there as well. Lots of good words that I really enjoyed. I did find it a wee bit of a stretch, though. Do you know what I mean? You could get like some Jaffa cakes or something instead. I mean, it would be Monster Munch, something like that. You know, you'd be quite fine, roasted cheese. But so 6.2, I think. 6.2, I think.
Martin.
Yeah, man, I like a bit of zombies, you know. That's all right. That's cool, and I liked all the rhyming. So, yeah, look, a good fun thing, and also again quite topical. You know, I would say it's important to you know, it's important for people to realize that could be a possibility, man. You know, sit next to your pal, you're like, well, you know, you watch it on TV. Who knows what the new stuff could do? Do you know what I mean? The ultra strains or whatever they're coming over from all these places. Who knows? Who knows what people turn into, man? You know what I mean? I don't know. There's growing mad shit in Canada. I saw it in South Park, man. Do you know what I mean? So,
is that the new South Park?
I don't know. It was Tegrity.
Oh, yeah, Tegrity. Yeah. There's a new post-COVID South Park out, but I've not seen it.
I don't know. I haven't seen it up to date. But it's good times. Yeah, so, man, good fun stuff, man. Yeah, so 8.5.
8.5.
Like
big scores.
Yeah.
And Sammy is adding it up. Yes, Gordon, your subscriber count's going up as well. I'm going to share the link again. Let's see if we can get that up to where are we now. Right, we're up to 50 subscribers. I think we've hit up about 9 or 10. So I'm going to share your YouTube again in case there's any new people joining us. Because we're back on Facebook. So we're streaming live to Facebook. We didn't stream to Facebook earlier, but Twitch broke. So I've put it onto Facebook. This is the link. Click that link and subscribe to Gordon's channel. Let's get him up to 100 so we can get a URL. And some comments, read some comments from the people, Gordon. So what the people saying. Gordon, OMG, so brilliant and morbidly funny. I love the speed of your delivery, fast but understandable. Your eyes help project the material. Top marks, please. Colette says, fresh meat, cannibalism, bro. It says baby doll. Well done, Gordon, says Mary. Marzipan says, outstanding once again. Brilliant, Gordon, says Alan. Cora Connor said something that I don't know what that means. It's I think it's just a bot. Maybe it's not a real person. If you are a real person, Cora, then please get in touch. I don't know what Vasktech means, but I just googled it and it seems to be a bot thing. So I explain yourself or fuck off. If you're a real person, I do apologise. And we're going. Thank you very much, Gordon. Is it enough to get to the final? It's big scores. We'll maybe see you next Wednesday. We'll find out after these two poems left, and it's Time Gypsy. Time Gypsy, could you... Yes, you're back. The first poet of the night and the second last poet of the night as well. Time Gypsy, please take it away.
Thanks. This poem's called The Ex-Serviceman. Sat down the local with my usual half, reminiscing of times long past, in my routine seat not far from the bar, hand on trembling glass, eyes locked afar. Different speaker every Thursday to teach us the old and tough day, but my brain, it seems, is getting harder to exercise, thoughts more difficult to organise. I'm propped on medication, prescription pills. With each day comes a brand new will. My body has tired, my limbs have calmed. How much longer must I withstand? To soften old age with sweet, sweet whiskey and drink away my pensioner's wage. 'Tis not what I had planned when I was a younger man. But bookies conveniently down the road, taking my change, I spend my load. Why does gambling attract my hand? The only risk I can now withstand. Horses on, I tighten my hold, and a malt of 12 years old, number 5 on my bet, it's a winner. Otherwise, I may miss my dinner. Saturday comes, as does the dancing, on our regular table to hear what? Band sing. Ladies in dresses and old-time skirts. I pull out my trousers and my classical shirt. Here comes the bingo. Shh, better be quiet. One noise and the people will riot, but back to the bar and the staff are ready. Measure of grouse and half a heavy, served with a smile to brighten my day. Once upon a time she'd have heard my say, her skin untouched by years gone by, with the twinkle I'd lost in her eye. No, this is not what I had planned when I was a younger man. To move just 10 foot down the road, pretend my days were as of old. I was promised the world in my elder lean when fighting for country, when fighting for queen. And what am I left with? But for benefits and a stiff skeleton. Thanks.
Time Gypsy. Amazing stuff. Let's go to the judges, Jenny.
I really loved the contrast of you and then it being the kind of point of view of an old man who's lived his life and feels quite unfulfilled. I've never really seen that before, and you delivered it beautifully. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give you an 8.6.
8.6. Excellent stuff. Jim?
I agree with Jenny. I really liked the delivery. It was really well done. But I'm worried about you a wee bit, Time Gypsy. I mean, that's Socky All Street with stabbings. Now you're the next services club. I think you need a wee bit of advice on your social life. Maybe expand your horizons a wee bit. You know what I mean?
This is all in the past. It's all right.
I'll give it a 6. A 6, I think.
It's a 6 from Jim. Martin?
Yeah. I appreciate it because the subject matter actually is, I find it it's quite important as well. That is, people doing that commitment to that and then ended up, I don't know, I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't know everything about it or anything, but I know a few folk. And yeah, great the way you delivered it, and I agree with Jenny the way you kind of went off and it was taken away by the whole character and stuff like that, and just kind of that whole kind of atmosphere of it. And it's quite a solemn thing, at the end, especially living with those kind of memories, So we'll give it a good 8.6.
8.6 from Martin. A couple of comments coming in. Excellent Time Gypsy. Enjoyed very much and enjoyed the contrast of poet and material too, says Mary. Marion says, oh, that's sad. Poor guy. Alan says, superb stuff. Caroline Harper, I think, is the bot. I don't know what this is, Vastech. I think it's a bot, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. Super. Go Tom Gypsy time even, says Marion. Well done, absolutely fantastic. It's time we'll find out in a few moments. We've got one poem left. We'll find out who's got the final next week. Thank you, Time Gypsy.
You're spinning the wheel, man.
Well, of course we're spinning the fucking
Yay!
wheel.
Another song.
I'm going to remove myself from this because I think I just want to see you and the wheel together doing a wee song. So I'm going to take everyone else at the screen. Sorry.
It's not the present ever, man.
Okay, so I'm going to spin the wheel and just start singing, and I'll.
Here we go. Last time for tonight. Spin, spin, spin the wheel of poetry for you call that radio on TV. Who is it? It's Tickle McNichol.
It is indeed Tickle McNichol.
Surprise.
It is indeed. Thank you, Sammy. That was good. If anyone's on Twitch, could you just clip that? I just never do it. Tickle's here. Hello, Tickle has moved.
I'm inside now.
All right, have you got internet? Have you been away so long that you've had a change, a shower, change of clothes, ordered some new internet provider, changed your internet provider, and now you're ready to do another poem?
Now my partner has finished doing the workshop that she was delivering with the Wi-Fi and the laptop with the camera and the sitting room and the lights.
Well, good on you. You made it through to the final of the semi-finals with a shite internet. Take it away with
Shite poem. Megabus to London in 4 parts. 1, not even 3 full hours into the megabus to London, and it's harder and harder to believe that anything exists outside of this fetid box. The outside world is a shoddy illusion. The quality of manufacture is poor, and I can practically see the brushstrokes as the scenery canvas rolls past with its never-ending loop of unconvincing sky and mottled verges. The festival toilet is out of paper, but in contrast, Toucan Dan has barely made a dent in his stash. His beery stench joins the malodorous chorus of stale sweat, chemical loo, and assorted travel foods in a crescendo of olfactory night terrors. At least no one has, as yet, vomited on this particular journey, despite the promises made to my nose by the inescapable and ever-present evidence of regurgitative journeys past. Only 7 hours to go, they say. I'm growing less sure with every passing minute that this will ever end. Pray. If you have any human compassion at all, pray from my very soul. 2. 5 hours into the megabus to London, and all I can think about, beside the acrid, eye-stinging bus stench, is how much I loathe the downstairsers. Their numbers are few, but for now they control the doors and access to the festival toilet. Despite the obviously low intelligence written all over their greedy, subhuman faces, there's the unmistakable glint of cunning in their cruel, piggy eyes. A cunning and shiftily malevolent craftiness borne out by the rude barricade that blocks the path of my fellow top-deckists. Thrice we have fallen against them with all our majestic and innately superior might, and thrice they have inexplicably repelled our righteous attacks. God, how I hate them! When will this torment end? Soon we will become no more than crude savages, primitives and piss-bottle barbarians. How much longer must this go on? From the dusty and dimming memories of the surviving elders and what little can be gleaned from the rune lore of the druids, we're looking at least another 4.5 hours. Pray not, friends. Don't waste your sweet and precious moments on such folly. This hellish and unending journey stands as definitive proof that there is no God to pray to, at any rate none which shall answer our desperate prayers. All hope is lost. 3. 7 are the hours I have now endured on the torturer's rack that is the megabus to London. 7 are the hours, and God alone knows how many more moments of stretched out, slow motion agony lie ahead. 7 hours I have dwelt in the ceaseless torment of this grim and utterly inescapable oubliette on wheels. 7 hours have I breathed in lungful upon mighty lungful of this heinous concoction, this sick and mixed gaseous maelstrom of rank food odors, stale and crusted sweat crystals, and the foulest shit-flavored miasma conjured from the undoubtedly diseased bowels of my fellow travelers. Never had I, even in my hitherto darkest moments, truly contemplated sustaining my body by digesting the rubbery raw flesh rent with clawed hands from the still living body of a fellow human. Yet here I sit, belly swollen and full, bearded chin and tired hands still sticky with the life's blood of a backseaterling I once called friend. Things have gone downhill somewhat since leaving Manchester. The end, when it came, was sudden. The proud and noble downstairs are foes we once faced across the battlefield are no more. Gone forever is their enduring honour, their delicate grace, and their heartwarming wit. All at once and without warning, they descended into a brutal and animalistic orgy of violence. We of the top deck, huddled together, wincing as we sipped from our piss bottles, wincing as we listened to the crazed howls of the nether folk as they tore one another limb from bloody limb. Some amongst us chuckled grimly, our victory, and with it access to the festival toilet now, but all assured. Yet wiser heads hung low in shame and sorrow. For the best of us knew that the same bleak fate which had befallen our mortal enemies would just as surely be upon us, and so it was. Barely minutes passed before the quarrelling broke out. Factions rapidly formed, and with the front-endians and middlemen each controlling a stairwell, it wasn't long before the weakest of the backseaterlings were defeated, dominated, and dined upon. So it was, and so it is. Few remain below, those we call wild, whose bestial cruelty we now ape, display but one trace of their former humanity as they prowl in the darkness of the lower deck. The final hint of what they once were is the constant howled refrain, 4:30 at Victoria bus station, 4:30. Some of my co-chiefs in the Front-Endian Confederacy claim these drooling ravings to be a prophecy, a sign of brighter days to come. For now I hold my tongue, though I fear they are fools to themselves. I keep my silence, yes, as I know and worry an already much chewed tendon. For the moment they contemplate the true nature of this eternal and unending journey of wretched iniquity is the moment we join the fate of our once brother downstairsers. Perhaps there is little worth in putting off our certain end. Perhaps the end is all we yet possess. 4. I've arrived in London on the megabus. It wasn't that bad, all things considered. 9 out of 10 would do it again. Looking forward to the megabus trip back to Glasgow on Sunday.
Amazing stuff. The judge, Sammy B, saying that you might have went over 3 minutes a bit.
Oh yeah, I think I went over 5. Sorry, I just had to.
And that was
minutes, mate.
How long?
4.5 minutes.
4.5.
And also,
London in the megabus.
I'm sorry.
You have a rapid fire delivery as well. I don't know how long it would take a slower poet to recite that poem, but there was part 4 though. I thought part 4 was going to be another few paragraphs, but part 4 was
succinct.
It's succinct. Jenny, Jim. I mean, obviously, it's up to the judge's discretion.
Oh no, I mean, I expect to be marked down heavily for it, Mark.
Yeah,
okay.
but at the end of the day, it was a very good poem. I think we've all had the horrible experience of a megabus before. So let's go to Jenny.
Oof, the megabus to London. Christ, I've done that before. I loved that there was a cross of poetry universes when you were talking about One Can Dan. It felt like it was more page prose than a slam poem, and it was very long. And I wished that you weren't just reading it. If you delivered it to the camera, then it would have been come to life a bit more. And it was quite wordy, so there was a lot of information. I did enjoy it, but I will probably mark you down for the time. I'm going to give you a 7.5.
Fucking hell.
Jim?
I'm going to mark you up for the time just because. Why not? Why not? No one else is doing it. Yeah, I thought that was exactly like, I mean, in poetry, you're meant to use metaphor and things like that, but that's exactly the night bus to London.
Because the poem is longer. The megabus always seems longer than it should be.
It's exactly what happened. And the last time I was on it, and I think I've read that TripAdvisor review as well. I think in the class, so I'll give it 6.7. I think.
Whoa! Wow! The spreadsheet is in the bin.
Blew the top off of that one, eh?
Holy shit balls.
Wow, I'm speechless. Yeah, I could see that as a kind of a short film, and a guy's pure. He's not like at the top deck, just like that's the internal monologue. You feel like that's all you hear, and he's just like looking around. And people are just sitting there like reading their papers, and they look over to him, and then they're just hearing this like fucking. I can imagine that being quite cool. I've been on it actually a couple of times on a bus to London. Been quite eventful. Yeah. I always remember how close the seat in front was when it has the 2 little magazine holder bits with the net, and it's got like 2 little screws that were like exactly where your knees are. And then the person in front, when it's like kind of like leans back, and they kind of like the 2 things just like stab into your knees. It's like, oh, thanks very much. Yeah. So there's a lot there. I really enjoyed it. I know you went over the time and all that, but I mean, it's all fun. It's all fun. I would say an 8.5 for that, man. I liked it.
8.5. This is very close, Sammy. I'm going to give you a little minute to reflect and count. Tickle, how can people hear your poetry? I'll give you a couple of minutes. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to promote Tickle and the judges and see what they're up to. And then that'll give you time, Sammy. So I'll let you be. You're off, and we'll find out who the top 4 poets that will go through at the final next week are. So looking forward to that. Tickle, how can people hear your music or your poetry?
They can look up Tickle Hip Hop on YouTube or Bandcamp or Instagram or Facebook. Probably not Facebook, really. Let's face it, but you can. And I've got a new album out early next year with songs on it. It's going to be good.
About time.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Lyric book, lots of music videos, t-shirts.
Did you
chocolate
say you
money?
made chocolate money?
Chocolate money, themed love hearts, stickers, badges, more merch than can be easily sold, according to the label guy.
Amazing. Check out Tickle Hip Hop, and we're going to find out if Tickle is through to the final next Wednesday, right here on You Call That Radio. I'm going to go round the judges quickly just to give them a little punt. Jim, if you're a fan of Jim, and I know many of you are, then Jim, I believe you've got a coffee account. I'll put the link in the comments for people.
Oh yeah, I've got a coffee account. I forgot about that. Yeah, buy me a coffee. Just send me money in general. I don't really care if you need my poetry or anything. Just find me on Facebook and send me cash.
I've got it here. Jim, you get any poetry things coming up? I have
been working on a wee kind of short collection pamphlet thing that I promised. Remember that when lockdown started? Do you remember that? Can't remember when it was. I was going to finish the poetry collection and work on my first novel, and but I didn't get there. I was also doing Couch to 5K, and I've got as far as Couch. I've mastered Couch, but no poetry.
Buy Jim a coffee over at coffee.com/Jim Monaghan. And let's go to Jenny. Jenny, what you got coming up? How can people interact with your work?
I am Jenny with Words on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I'm also, my night is called Rebel Soapbox that I have in Brighton, and I am starting in London again next year. I'm just finishing my collection at the moment, and I will be performing at Stanza Festival in April.
Amazing. And it's at Jenny with Words for all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Go and add Jenny to the different things. Martin, obviously fatherhood is a busy time.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually making a techno album with my 4-month-old son, so that's quite cool.
It happens. Apparently, that's quite common of new fathers to get back in about the techno. So, you also have music on Bandcamp.
Well, yeah. But you know, that was this new stuff, man. It's all about yeah. Well,
all about the unreleased new stuff.
Oh, it's all about the unreleased stuff, man. The
unreleased
stuff he's ever heard. I was
stuff.
in the studio actually with Sean. We're doing Scarecrow Pier, so we're back doing it, rocking out, man.
Actually, you sent me that video. Are you still wanting me to upload that to the You Call That Radio channel?
At your disclosure, man, that was just that was a mid-lockdown montage of bleakness with some heavy duty guitars. You know,
well, as much as I'm a big fan of your unreleased techno that I've not
winter.
heard, I'm also a fan of the unreleased acoustic stuff, which people should check out on Bandcamp, and also give MJW Photography, is it, on Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't given anything to the internet for a while, so it's all there if you want to see it. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mark.
I wouldn't bought that.
Worst salesman ever.
Oh man, that was like,
trust me, he's a better photographer than he is salesman. And I'm going to put the link in the comments. So Martin Windybank Photography is Martin is my favourite photographer, graphic designer, filmmaker. He's done loads of stuff for us, and he made the fantastic flyer that we had today. Where is it?
I enjoyed that. That was good. Like the colours.
Yeah, here it is here. So and all you need to do is just sort of take 5 names off it. And
I think if I was going to make another one, it would have like gold writing for the final. What do you think?
Yeah, I think gold writing for the final is a definite. So do that. Also, I want to give a wee shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole, who I've just started a wee roll with Down the Rabbit Hole. It's an amazing festival, and this is the last day to get in time for the. I'm not a great salesman here either. Hold on, no, the tickets, you can buy the tickets right up to Christmas Day, but if you want a T-shirt sent out, then you need to go to this link here. So I'm just going to put the link in. It'd be good if he's bought it and supported Down the Rabbit Hole, because that makes me look better. So if you see any social media posts for Down the Rabbit Hole, give it a like, give it a share, and then I might stay on longer than July next year. So and so we're going to. I think we can go to. Sorry, Natalie Jane is saying, Natalie, give a quick plug. I know you're writing things, so I'm going to bring Natalie on and give a quick plug before we go to the final results.
Yeah, totally. I'm on Instagram at NataJane, NataJayne, and Twitter, Natalie J Clark, so Jay Clark. And I have a live performance in January in Glasgow at McNeil's, 13th of January, 8 o'clock. There's a few of us doing some storytelling. So there's storytellers, comedians, poets, that kind of thing. But yeah, it should be a nice time, a lovely night. That's me.
Amazing, Natalie. And we might see Natalie next week. We don't know yet, because the top 4 poets are about to be announced for the world universal best poet in the world. What is it again, Jim? Was it the best poet in the universe? This award?
I would say so. I mean, I've not seen a lot of poets for other planets or galaxies and things like that, but
Lazy bastards.
So far, all the best ones in the world are the best poets so far.
We've got the best poets in the universe coming up. Sammy B, have we got any update?
Yeah, we've got an update.
It's drum roll time. Let me just get a drum roll.
No, you're fine, son. I've got my maracas.
All right, give us a maraca roll then.
Maraca and a cambi. You want it in reverse order?
Reverse order. So we want to hear the 4th poet, the 3rd poet, the 2nd poet, and the 1st poet.
Spotted. And 4th place, Joe the Ark.
Joe the Ark is going to the final next week.
Cool dust in that, golden. And 3rd place, Time Gypsy, the wee old man with the whiskey at the social club. 2nd place, Gordon Powery, smoke my joint, mega munchies, but eat your air first, don't be eating only folk. And number 1 in it, going through to the finals, Natalie Jane Clark with Which Woman in Power?
Amazing stuff. Natalie's still here. Gordon's still here. Time Gypsy's still here. I don't know if Joe's still here, but congratulations, guys. You are going to the final, and this is amazing stuff. Wait, hold on, let's just see the official scares and the dares. Oh, this is great. Well, that's good. Well done, Sammy. But Sammy, the rollie sets it off nicely as well. And thank you to Nick, Rob, hold on, Tickle. Hold on, I'm just doing this from memory. Who didn't make it to the final? Let's find out. Let me just find out who didn't make it to the final. Yeah, so we've got commiserations to Wee Mad Poet, commiserations to Tickle, commiserations to Nick, and commiserations to Rab. You were all brilliant. It's not a reflection. Slam poetry is not fair. The best poet never wins, as Tickle likes to say. What a bronicht. Well done, Mark and yon judges. See you next week for yon big mad poetry final. That's correct. We've got the poetry final next week. Joe the Ark's here as well. So congratulations to Joe, Time Gypsy, Gordon and Natalie. We will see you next Wednesday, this time on You Call That Radio TV. And that's it. A couple of comments. Read a couple of comments, quick time. Well done to all the perfectionists of poetry and wordsmiths of wizardry tonight. That was a great poem itself. Alan, you should enter next year. Well done, our Chukter. Love Baby Doll. Leo has given it 100%. What excellent finalists. Congratulations. Whoopee. Time Gypsy, says Marianne. Yas says, Leo, everyone should stick to the YouTube. Yeah, watch this show on YouTube. Forget about Twitch. Forget about Twitter. Forget about Facebook. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Mary says, love Sammy B. And love Tickle about the megabus. Leo loved the megabus to London. Ray said the Game of Thrones on a megabus vying for toilet control. I can smell and taste it and turned into dust till dawn. Mesmerising. It was really good. Colette says that nickel pickle is Bronu. Love Baby Doll. Superb stuff. Tickle quality just tuned in, says Gypsy Lee. So nothing else to do. Go and buy a Down the Rabbit Hole t-shirt if you don't mind. And thank you to to Jenny, Jim, Martin, and Sammy. And congratulations to Joe, Time Gypsy, Gordon, and Natalie. We'll see you next week on You Call That Radio for the final to find out who Poet of the Year is. And the winner of that goes to the Scottish finals at Tron Theatre in January. Exciting times. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Yeah, enough respect in every aspect to the man like Mark. The love of the man attack on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio, radio. Call that the radio, radio. You call that radio, radio. Call that the radio, radio. Come and say, eeny, meeny, my name, oh, just go with the flow. Eeny, meeny, my name, oh, just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Boom. Lot of mercy. Yo. You call that radio, radio. You call that radio, radio. Come and say don't you be another man, I'll go lose your head. Say don't you be another me say and lose the head. Me say radio, radio. Call that a radio, radio. Straight from out of Glasgow, Glasgow. Straight from out of Glasgow, Glasgow. Nice enough on the studio, studio. Come and say eeny, meeny, my name, oh, just go with the flow. Eeny, meeny, my name, oh, just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. No radio, radio. You call that the radio, radio. Them man I give you miss a lot of subject. And them I think a man you can't object. So don't you ever come and disrespect. I love and respect in a every aspect.